Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and down in San Diego is my good friend and co-host Dennis Bathalkas. What's up, Dennis?
Nothing much. I'm doing all right. And also with us in parts unknown, Susan Layton. Hey, Susan, how you doing?
Hey, great, Dennis. Hi, Gary. Hey, everybody in the chat.
What's up, everybody in the chat? It's Friday Night Tights. I'm so excited. There's so much to talk about, so much to unpack. And oh, yes, I know it's late in Wisconsin. It is 8:50 here, a little about 20-minute late start. Thank you, Outside Lands Festival. Basically, I came home from work and started podcasting. Food be damned. Saying hi to my family. I ran by and went, hello, let's start podcasting. So yes, there is so much to talk about. Dennis has put together a lot of news. We're waiting for some people to roll in. How was everybody's day? How was your day, Dennis?
Well, I got up. I thought about going to work. Then I decided, okay, sure, why not? No, I'm okay. It was all right. How about you?
Yeah, I went to a little work. Yeah, got up, had a little breakfast. Very exciting. Did the gym, typical day. How about you, Susan?
Hey, I was living the rock star life. I was up till, noon. I never went to bed until afternoon because I was editing a monster, what they call an evergreen piece for 1428 on the 25 best films of Stephen King, which was a bear. Yeah, so I went to sleep for a couple of hours, and here I am.
Wow.
As long as the Dead Zone is number one, we're good.
The Dead Zone, I hate to say it. Yeah, you know what? It's number 2 for me. It was number 1, but it got knocked out.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for the article. We don't want to spoilers. I don't know if there'll be spoilers, but I just want an excuse to use our little spoiler sign made by Viking Bitch. So thank you, Viking Bitch, again. Hello.
I got mine over here.
We thank you for choosing us because it looks like everybody and his mother's live streaming tonight, which is fine. No problem. We have our regulars in Gravlane, Persian Scribe, Mary Ashmead, Artemis Over Easy, Dakota Stanton, Movie Finobi, Viking Bitch, Feisty Fan. What is up? Aliens Renders. It's almost 1 a.m. where you are. Oh, hey, sleep be damned.
Exactly.
We'll tell you a bedtime story.
Actually, what's a good thing to start off with while we're waiting for people to roll in?
Yeah.
Is we forgot to mention this during Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
But a really good friend of ours, actually my former landlord, and Gary's mentor in the comic book industry, Jamie Newbold, has written a book called The Forensic Comicologist. Because Jamie actually used to be a cop here in San Diego, and he also now runs a comic book store. And he is one of the leading comic book graders in the world.
Period.
And he's written a book on it. Yeah.
And end of story. The guys at CGC could not hold his tidy whities.
Exactly.
This man can grade a comic with both eyes closed from across the room. He's like the Daredevil of grading comics. Yeah, I'm a little biased. He's like one of my best friends too. And he's my freaking Yoda. So yeah, check it. It's on Amazon. Okay. Yep. And it's, if you want to get into owning, if you are a comic book retailer and you can set your ego aside, I would read this book. Okay. Especially if you're a new comic book retailer, if you're getting into collecting, or if you're just curious about collecting, definitely check it out. He didn't pay us a cent for that, by the way. We're shilling for a friend.
And if you go by his store, he'll even sign it for you.
He'll sign it. Yeah.
He's nice like that.
He is nice like that.
But yeah,
I could have sworn. I mean, he says no, but I've when I first met him, I'm like, dude, I recognize you. And I'm like, I think you arrested me one time. He's all, no. I'm all, you might have.
Yeah, Feisty, you should grab that book. He's working on a second one. He also is on. He's been on Pawn Stars because he has gone in to go grade a couple comic books for their show. And he's supposed to be doing something for the History Channel. We don't know what it is, but it's a hush-hush thing. All we know, he's doing something for them. Yes. So
we'll get him on the show. sometime.
Yeah.
He'll be on the show one of these days for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome to talk to. Freaking knowledgeable. I mean, you could throw anything you want, however obscure that you want to at him, and he kind of, it's like a computer. You'll see him just blink for a second, and he'll answer it. Yeah, it's creepy.
So we should start off with some Star Trek, but not the one that's in the title. That one's going to be for later. But yeah, we should definitely start off with, because this news kind of just hit. Here, I'll go to the link here. So it looks like Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth are in negotiations with Star Trek 4. The headline from comicbook.com, which is really kind of a trash website, is saying that Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth exit Star Trek 4 over contract talks, which if you read the article, it kind of doesn't say that, but that's fine.
I went to Hollywood Reporter where they actually got it from. There's a link in there to it. And yeah, they did. So basically what happened was Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth.
Hollywood Reporter is not much better, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Paramount and Skydance Studios, who is now producing this with Paramount, were all at the table talking about this because they were talking about Chris Hemsworth, if you remember, played Kirk's dad in the first movie. So he was talking about reprising his role because there's going to be time travel involved in their big surprise, J.J. Abrams. And of course, Chris Pine plays Captain Kirk, and they were renegotiating their salary. And so what's going on is that they said the last Star Trek movie really underperformed. It only made like $300 million, somewhere around there, and it cost $190
worldwide. Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah. So they lost money on it.
So yeah, here we could. Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth are no longer boldly going where no person has gone before. The two actors were in negotiations with Star Trek 4, but the sources say the talks between the two actors and the companies making the new installment, Paramount Pictures and Skydance Media, have fallen apart, with both sides walking away from the table. Now, before I even go on, this shit's normal. I mean, the fact that it makes news now is interesting because it used to not.
Yeah.
But this is a normal negotiation in Hollywood. So, yeah, deal making with other returning cast members, including Zoe Saldana, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, and John Cho, was expected to follow. Pine was due to reprise his role as the iconic sci-fi hero Captain Kirk, which he has inhabited for the last 3 movies, where Hemsworth was to play his father in a time-traveling adventure. Hemsworth played the role in the prologue in 2009, like Dennis just said. The deal points came down to the usual suspect: money. Pine and Hemsworth, among Hollywood's A-list when starring in DC Marvel movies, are said to be asking for the studios to stick to existing deals. Okay, so that's the kicker. Like, this, Pine just wants the deal he signed, and apparently they're like what Dennis just said. They're like, the last movie kind of didn't do so well, so we want to renegotiate. Plus, this is Paramount we're talking about here.
Simon Pegg on the whole Star Trek Beyond, he's blaming marketing, and I know he was a writer on it and had a lot to do with it. But he says that the studio did piss poor marketing, and that's why it failed.
It did do piss poor marketing. And I want to say thank you to Dakota Stanley. So the negotiations failed because Hemsworth kept throwing the script on the floor saying, "I like this, I will have another."
Thank you, Dakota Stanton. You're wonderful. According to insiders, contends that Star Trek is not like a Marvel movie or Star Wars movie and is trying to hold the line on a budget. The actors, according to sources, insist there have been deals in place and that these studios are reneging on them, forcing them to take pay cuts and then try to budget a movie that is following a mediocre performer. I got to kind of agree with them that Pine, at least, has had a deal in place for the last several years. The actor, now a key player in the Wonder Woman franchise, signed up for a franchise. Okay, hold the phone, everybody. Wonder Woman was a good movie. It's not a franchise yet. Not a franchise until you have 2 good movies, okay? Please. Signed up for a 4th movie and has made a deal for 2016 Star Trek Beyond. Hemsworth has been attached to Star Trek 4, blah, blah, blah. The studio, however, is backing its budget tough talk. So these Star Trek movies, I mean, they're just going to rehash the movie and tell us how much they made, and we all know that. They haven't been good. I mean, and like, what makes you think this fourth one's going to be good? And they had, didn't they have Fast and the Furious guy like directing the last one?
Yeah, I believe they did.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Fast and Furious movies are pretty good. I like them. They're fun. But the problem is, the script that Simon Pegg wrote was bad. Rehashing the Beastie Boys song, the motorcycle, destroying the Enterprise again. Kirk wanting to quit. It was just dumb. It was just dumb. Yeah. The only thing good in it was the alien girl who was from the Kingsman. She was the only thing good in it.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep during it. Big surprise there. I want to say thank you to Johnny Pappas for $2. Here's to seeing Carl Urban as Billy the Butcher on The Boys.
Hell yeah, man.
That's right. Remember?
I do remember. It's just like I've seen nothing from the show. I'm so disappointed there was nothing at Comic-Con, but man, Johnny, I cannot wait for that show.
Sorry, you were saying, Susan?
Oh, no. I was just saying about Simon Pegg. I think what he tried to do was infuse some of the things that work well in his own movies, like hearkening back to old songs, like on Shaun of the Living Dead, using white lines and stuff, but that doesn't necessarily work for every movie.
No.
Well, especially when they rehashed it. I mean, they used it in the 2009 movie, and I understand it was supposed to be a callback, but
yeah, there's a new movie that he and Nick Frost have gotten back together again to do. It's called Slaughterhouse Rules, something like that. Yeah. And they worked on the script, but the guy who directed that really bad Simon Pegg movie that he just did recently about
Criminal.
Yes, thank you. And it honestly, if you watch the trailer, it looks like a B movie, like something that should be going direct to video instead of coming out in the theaters. And you could tell that it's just kind of aged material that hasn't moved forward at all. And that's exactly what Simon Pegg is kind of stuck in. Unfortunately, it's not.
Simon Pegg shouldn't be writing a Star Trek movie. If they want to keep the Star Trek movie going, they need Ronald D. Moore is out there. He is still very, very good.
Yep.
Shankar from the Expanse. I mean, he's out there too. He could pen a movie between seasons. Get some Star Trek people back, please. Nicholas Meyer.
I think JJ did it, because he and Simon are buddies. And sometimes that's not necessarily the way to go. And Mako says, get Orsi back because he's a Star Trek fan. Anybody, like you said, let's bring somebody back that knows the franchise. And I love Simon. I like a lot of his movies, but maybe not Star Trek.
I love him too. I do. I don't like his act of late. Especially towards Star Wars fans. I thought that was kind of weak, but other than that, I've been a fan of the dude, but he's been kind of Hollywoodized, like apologizing for his Jar Jar Binks stuff. And I know it was behind the apology, but his Jar Jar Binks stuff was about Jar Jar Binks. Okay. It wasn't about the guy who played him. And that was in Spaced, by the way, which I love that show, but Spaced was awesome. Good stuff. So Star Trek's in a rough place. The movie is the movie's an afterthought at this point, right? With all the TV show stuff they're doing, and that's where Star Trek belongs.
Yeah, I mean, because I know they're kind of banking on Quentin Tarantino's version that's supposed to be coming out, which again I think is just going to be really shitty. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be really bad. It's not going to be what they think it's going to be, and it's going to shock a lot of people about how bad it's going to be.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm certainly interested.
I'm
way more interested in seeing his Star Trek just for the weird factor of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's got 50-50, at this point, because Quentin is known for a certain type of film, but Star Trek is not that universe. However, like I said, when Doomcock was on, what I like about Quentin is he reveres history. He reveres pop culture. So maybe that'll work in his favor. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get that Quentin.
But he hasn't been doing that for a long time. He hasn't done that in over 20 years, I would say. And yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be something that I don't think he has it in him, to tell you the truth. I don't think he remembers how to do that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Slurmy Scott.
Slurmy
$5.
Keep doing what you're doing, Gary, Dennis, and Susan.
Yeah.
We will. Thank you.
And I just don't think he remembers how to do that kind of stuff. And he's so used to being off the leash and not being told what to do that it's going to be a mistake bringing him into a franchise.
Well, it depends on what capacity it is. We've heard many things, but he's not directing it. So he's writing and producing it. So, I mean, honestly, some of his best stuff is his written stuff. Like if it's just the fact that he's writing it and he's not directing it, I'm kind of excited about it because True Romance is one of my favorite all-time movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. True Romance is one of my, I mean, honestly, yeah, that is a great movie. I mean, it's very, very well written, and having it under Tony Scott was genius because he handled it so well. But again, I'm going to go back to The Simpsons, and there's an episode where Quentin Tarantino guest directs an episode of Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he goes into explaining stuff, in the middle of things, and which he does in his script sometimes. And I'm hoping that they edit that out if they have a different director, because I thought he was supposed to be directing this as well.
No, he's supposed to write and produce it. He's not going to be directing it.
Okay.
He's only directing, I think, a couple more movies than he's supposedly done. He's directing 1969 right now.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought he was doing 1969. about the Manson murders. Okay, yeah, right, yeah. Oh, so they changed the okay. The OG title was 1969. That's interesting. All right, so
yeah, that.
Let's get back. Oh, for one, Philip A. Demick wants to thank Susan. Thanks for the heads up on Lodge 49. Binged the whole thing before I found out it was supposed to be weekly, ending October 8th. It had a slow start, but I loved that everything's connected end.
Awesome. That does my heart good. I'm glad. I just think it's a little show that needs a little bit. I don't want to say needs help because that's unfair to the talent behind it. But I think it's one of those shows like Holly Holy and Here Comes the Boom. It needs to build.
Yeah. I know someone just said here, James Cameron, Johnny Mattress said James Cameron for directing, Star Trek. He would have been good a while ago. Now I don't think he's anywhere near what he used to be. He's in a different place now, mindset wise.
You think James Cameron would have been good directing Star Trek?
Yeah. He knows how to do sci-fi. Yeah. He used to, I should say. He used to know how to do sci-fi. Now,
I don't know.
I'm talking
about pre-Avatar days.
Well,
yeah, I mean, like, if he could have behaved himself and worked within the franchise and just been a hired gun, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Aliens.
Dude, yeah, aliens. Well, fuck. Yeah.
I think what would get me about him with Star Trek is the megalomaniacal tendencies that he has.
Yeah.
Well, tendencies. I think he has calm tendencies between his megalomaniacalness.
I mean, I do, to your point, Dennis, I do think he does do science fiction very, very well. It's just that if he could only step away from his personality for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now he can't do it. There's no way he could do it now. I'm talking about James Cameron in the past.
I agree. The James Cameron of now couldn't work in Hollywood. They think that maybe that's why they've delayed it so much, because honestly, his act, you guys, Susan, I mean, his act on set is like, it's abusive. He's really abusive to people. He's horribly abusive. I don't think he can get away with that now.
On Titanic. I mean, the stuff he would say to her back then, it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
But now it would really not be okay.
Really?
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Now listen, when it comes to art, like some crazy guys could be, if we get some good art and nobody really, really got hurt, like
Right.
I'm like, I don't have really a problem with it, but there's also plenty of directors who could make great art without doing that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Going pantless during Friday Night Tights gives me the same satisfaction as unfastening the top button of your trousers after Thanksgiving dinner here in the US. Artemis over easy. I want to quote that and put it on my tombstone.
That should be on our shirt. That should be on our shirt.
Another $5 super chat. Man, you guys are awesome.
Jeez.
Thanks again, Slurmy Scott, by the way. Dakota Stan says James Cameron Star Trek is a rehash of Gone with the Wind.
Oh, God.
Mufinobi says loving and laughing the shit out of Future Man on episode 8. Girth, Wind, and Fire. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, the titles are fucking hilarious. One of the titles that had me laughing was Herpes Fully Loaded, and I actually had to pause it because I just started
from?
Herpes.
What are you referring to? Like go before that.
Future Man on Hulu.
Okay, well, yeah.
The
All
episode titles. So one of the episode titles is Herpes Fully Loaded, and I had to pause it because I just was laughing my ass off. So
Herpes Fully Loaded. I guess I'll have to see the context for that.
Yeah, it's funny. It actually works in the context of the show. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, Movie Finobi. It is.
Awesome.
I just finished it myself, so
we'll be covering season 2.
Yeah,
well, I gotta watch season 1, but I've got like 5 other things I promised to get to before that. So
you talked a little bit about this with Doomcock on Monday.
Yeah.
But Jon Favreau's live action Star Wars series it's reportedly going to cost, they said for 10 episodes, it's going to cost $100 million. So that's $10 million an episode.
That's what Star Trek Discovery cost.
Yeah. Star Trek Discovery, they said was 8 to 8.5.
Star Trek Discovery was $10 million an episode. I had that confirmed from my
Really?
sources. Yep.
Okay.
So some of them were more expensive. That was the average.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're saying this is the most expensive TV show to date. That was what
it's not though, because Star Trek Discovery was even if it was $8 million, there were 15 episodes. So it was over $10 million. It was 15 episodes. Lord of the Rings is $1 billion.
I'm just saying what they quoted. They were saying it's the most expensive TV show to date.
Now, I can if I just hit the wrong article there. I don't know. What do you think, man? I think I have faith in Jon Favreau. I actually do.
Yeah, me too. It's supposedly it's taking place during the Mandalorians after Empire, I believe is what it is. Or no, excuse me, after Return of the Jedi. That's right. So after the fall of the Empire and what's happening to the Mandalorian worlds, if you will. So that's where it's taking place. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting because they had fallen apart. They're all fighting, factions now at this point. They're different houses that are fighting against each other. That's actually kind of interesting. I can see that. That's almost Game of Thrones, if you will. All these different houses fighting against each other, but set in space. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. Now, what I'm going to repeat what I'm trying to find. Your link wasn't to that. Star Wars TV show.
I mean, what's interesting about the whole thing here and how this all came to be is Ricky Strauss, kind of like the maestro behind all of these moves. What I find interesting about him is he comes from the world of marketing, and he helmed a lot of movies that have made, a gazillion dollars at the box office. And what was interesting and what gives hope to this Favreau, incarnation of Star Wars, because he's a fabulous director in and of himself, is the fact that Strauss supports strong storytellers. And he said his first thought is quality. That's what I couldn't believe. I had to reread that because I'm like, this is a suit saying he believes in quality and storytelling. Maybe this isn't going to be a bad thing.
It might not be unless it's involving that Kathleen Kennedy writer's room. If it is, then forget it. flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, I think they're too busy with the movies, screwing those up. That from what I understand, they've got a different writing room because it's separate. They don't want to cross over.
Disney is making its own video streaming service, which we know. The Mouse House has been keeping details like content, price, and even the name of the service under wraps. But the New York Times unveiled a few things of the profile executive Ricky Strauss, which you were just talking about. Hang on, guys. Stretch it out, guys. Hang on.
Okay, so he's lost something there. Yeah, so it's from what I understand, like I said, it's the Mandalorians after the Empire has fallen. All these houses getting back together. Because if you remember from, I believe it was Clone Wars, the animated, which is canon, by the way. Yeah. Mandalore has been ripped apart at this point. So all the different houses are all on their own. They really have no governing body anymore. And that was what the Empire wanted to do, was they wanted to divide Mandalore so Mandalore wouldn't be a army against the clones. And that was actually really smart on the Emperor's part of putting this wedge between all the Mandalorian houses and breaking them apart. So now you have them all by themselves, no Empire to kind of watch over them and keep them at each other's throats. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to be pulling back together again, going, hey, what the hell are we doing? So yeah, it could be Mako, is Star Wars a Game of Thrones postmodernistic political show? It could very well be. We don't know as of yet, but it would be very interesting to see how it's going to be done. And you're basically having a militaristic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just thinking that, I've been wishing that Favreau would take a crack at some of these franchise movies, because I just think he has the sensibility to direct something on that monumental level. And I am glad that he's getting a portion of the Star Wars universe. I mean, I think that's hope right there.
And Johnny Mattress, yeah, there is always hope that Ahsoka Tano will be in the show because it is right after the Empire has fallen. We know that she survives at that point because it's her and another Mandalorian warrior that was on Rebels that are going off to go look for Ezra. Actually, no, they're not going to be in it. I take that back.
They're not going to be. They're not going to do anything as Filoni.
Yeah,
they're not. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound pessimistic. I love Jon Favreau. He's done some crap too, but he has Iron Man. He helped, and he's made some great movies though. So when he hits it right, he hits it right. I can't see him bowing down to anybody. So I think this will be good. My question is, I actually have no doubt that if he has full control, this will be good. I don't. Is anybody going to care by like the Star Wars brand? I'll probably like the show and get into it. I mean, if it's good, I will. But I'm concerned the damage to the brand. I'll read the rest of this article. Sorry, folks, I dropped my mouse. Favreau emailed the Times about the series Star Wars is a Big World, he said, and Disney's new streaming service affords a wonderful opportunity to tell the stories that stretch out over multiple characters. But we're in a world where Star Wars will still Untitled show. Where in the world will it take place? Rumors have been swirling a while, and reliable scoop hounds making Star Wars have a good one. According to their sources, Disney Star Wars show will be set on the planet Mandalore, like Dennis just said. I don't know if this is good. This is going to be, how's this I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. It sounds cool, but are we a little tired of just going before Star Wars? Like Star Trek's been trapped in this crap too. Maybe we need to go move forward with the series, and I think that would give you so much more freedom. But maybe they're saving that for the movies, and they don't
think so. Yeah,
TV.
I want to say thank you to Feisty Fan for the $4.99. She goes, why? Oh, why couldn't they do something set in the old Republic? Why?
Or go way back
on the small or big screen.
Go way back. I think I could not agree more on that one. Because that would be the same thing. It would allow you creative freedom and away from canon, away from the Skywalkers, where there's a lot of trouble these days. A lot of trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Man of Action says at this point, Star Wars as a movie franchise is DOA. Unless you're going to raise Carrie Fisher from the dead and give her 20s back, there's no hope to be had.
They're trying.
They are. They really are.
They really are trying to conjure her up.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I think this is the one bit of actual good Star Wars news, though. Jon Favreau being involved, and like, listen, I am not a fan of The Last Jedi. Neither is Dennis. We don't like. I kind of liked Rogue One, but the more you think about that movie, it's got problems, and it's really
I
about
really liked it myself.
Yeah. No, you haven't, and yeah, the only thing good out of Star Wars recently has been Rebels and the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I think this will yeah, Pen Farm, go, hey, hit that lick that button.
No. Wow.
Like that lick button. Okay.
That's right.
Yes. I'm glad we have 72 watchers. Welcome everybody. So yeah, I think that's it's good news for Star Wars amid some horrible news. I still think Kathleen Kennedy will be gone in September. We're going to see some wholesale changes. They are talking about, there has been rumors, nobody other than rumors, but I could totally believe them splitting episode 9 into 2 parts. It would be the worst idea of all time.
It would be.
Don't do
really,
it.
Really
but
bad.
I could believe they would do it. And then I think there's also probably some philosophy is like, let's get this thing over with and move on. And let's hope we didn't destroy this thing that we've hinged our entire business on pretty much. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. They just need to end it, put a fork in it, and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
And like someone said here, basically just move forward 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And where you make the old trilogy something of lore that people had talked about. Nihilist Shadow just said, I think Star Wars.
That would be cool. Like they get it wrong. It's so far ago. And they've made everybody like into gods and things. And yeah, I think that would be really fun. It's a fun universe to play in. It is. And it's not as big as it sounds. And I'm, unless you're playing the video games or like reading the books, which is, that's where the hardcore Star Wars fans are. I don't do that myself. For normies, there's not much known, so you can actually do a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. That's why it's so disappointing they haven't, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they haven't used some of and they got rid of so many good things to replace it with poor copies. And
and Mako Rian's new trilogy is not going to happen.
It's not.
Yeah, he's basically persona non grata right now, and just writing it out until people forget about all the stuff that he's said and done, and then he's going to go back to making an indie film or two, and then go off and do that again.
Yeah,
and we will never see him in the big screen arena.
Yeah, he should go back to TV and be quiet for a little while. He had so much good cred coming from Breaking Bad, but
well, he did Brick and then Looper, which everyone loved. I really don't like the last 15 minutes of Looper. Just kill it for me. So, but yeah, that's where we're at with that. But no, I'm happy to. I want to see what Favreau is going to do with this, and I interested to see what he's going to do. This is the first time I've actually been interested in something live action Star Wars in a while.
Yeah, yeah, and God, with that much an episode, it'll look cool.
Yeah,
it will look cool. So what's next on the list?
So what's next on the list is, so we heard about Netflix, right? Netflix and we were talking about this last week about their Marvel deal being done in 2019. Well, they finally officially confirmed this, that Ant-Man and the Wasp will be the last Marvel movie released on Netflix. Everything else is going to be going to the Disney streaming service, this unknown Disney streaming service. And so it's going to be the Avengers Infinity War, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp will be the last movie.
Yeah, I don't know how much this hurts Netflix.
I don't know either, tell you the truth. Although they are going to be losing, I'm thinking the TV rights as well. I don't think those are going to be.
Oh yeah,
redone,
we
so-
talked about that last podcast.
Yeah.
They're done. 2020, they're done. But I think Netflix has been moving forward to this. This is the only time I really disagree with the world-class bullshitters, who I mostly agree with. But Netflix is fine right now. I mean, their biggest problem is going to be Amazon, but it's not going to be Disney streaming or Hulu. It's not going to be Hulu.
No.
I think, Hulu is actually pretty decent right now, and I think it'll go backwards once Disney takes over. But I actually enjoy Hulu right now. There's a lot of cool stuff on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of enjoying it myself too. I'm finding little tidbits here and there.
Yeah,
So.
there's like sometimes they'll have the animated series of something on. That's cool. But Netflix is going to be fine for a while. It's as long as they have investor money to play with. But it also, it's the company is valued so high right now. It can do that. It can take these crazy chances, and we're going to get a lot of good stuff, but good original stuff.
Yeah.
Alter Carbon wouldn't have happened anywhere else.
No. No, go ahead, Susan.
No, I just wanted to say, this Disney streaming, this whole Disney thing with the streaming, it's just like, it's like a string and a paper clip and some gum. It's like this guy, this Strauss guy, while he's interesting to me, and I think, he wants to do good things, he reminds me of an 1800s snake oil salesman. It's like, yep, we're getting all this talent. Do we have anything? Nope, but we'll find out what to do. Do you have any scripts? Nope, but eventually that'll happen. And it's like you're selling swampland in Florida and telling people they're going to get condos. I mean, I can't believe that people are actually signing on with this with like no scripts, on a wing and a prayer, basically. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think that's that's a great point, that the streaming service, this whole like thing reminds me of the .com thing that happened here in San Francisco about 20 years ago, when like anybody with a .com was just throwing money. And not 30, it was 20. Not even 20. It was maybe the .com bust was
95 is when it started. So 95 to 99.
No, the .com bust was in 2001. So, I mean, the right one, because I was able to, never mind. But yeah, it was, it was late 90s to now. And, dude, everybody with the .com was giving money. They were throwing money around, and streaming services are the same thing. We've said it before, that you have to have a good platform, and Amazon and Hulu and Netflix is far further ahead than anybody. They are light years ahead. I mean, just look at the picture. Look at your picture on a wireless connection on your 4K TV. You get a beautiful picture. Watch Alter Carbon in 4K. God, it's beautiful. And then go watch DirecTV Now. There's not much difference. DirecTV Now is using, which they should have been light years ahead of everybody, because they had on demand, but they decided not to innovate it at all. So it'll fall down to like a few standing orders, and then there'll be a bunch of little ones. And then people will figure out direct. Like, I will just make my own show on my own website, and no, you won't have the big people promoting you, but there won't be as many big people around. There isn't now. So we might get some great indie homegrown stuff, not porn.
You're getting a lot of that
kind
already,
of thing.
So.
There's a lot of great indie homegrown porn, but no, I think it'll actually be a good time, and that's where we'll see the cool indie stuff come back. Is by people making it themselves.
Johnny Pappas asked, did you guys sign up for the extended plan of the Disney streaming service at Comic-Con? I think you mean the DC streaming service, DC Universe. And no, I did not sign up for that, because I didn't want to spend $79.99 on something that I don't know anything about as of yet.
Johnny, I wanted to, and I wanted to know, like, what was the difference between signing up there and then going online? Like, was that a Comic-Con special? Or was it just like I could go there and sign up for it? Probably was a Comic-Con special, but I couldn't get an answer out of anybody. So I'm just going to do it online. I would have liked to, because I think $70 for a year is a pretty good deal. And I'm going to check all that stuff out for the channel. Yeah, we subscribe to a lot of streaming services. So yeah, it's where all that wonderful super chat money goes to that. Right now, that's about it. I don't really touch the Patreon or anything else, but that stuff starting to go to the streaming services because it's getting to be a lot.
Mufinobi says it's very comforting to know that the condoms weren't as busted as the .coms.
Oh.
He'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, you will.
Yes. Waitresses.
I would like to thank .com because I was able to buy a house because of the .com. So sorry, .comers, but yeah, thanks. A lot of them did very well in the long run anyway. So they turned it around. And now we have, I don't even know what we call what's going on here now. It's a boom town. It's a boom. There's more buildings being built, and it's like, yeah. I have no idea. Like San Francisco's completely changed from when I've moved here.
Yeah. Johnny Papa says, I wanted Apple to buy Sony, but imagine if Amazon bought it. Sony right now is a mixed bag. They always seem like they're going to go under, and then they do this weird stuff where they're rebooting everything from the 80s and 90s right now, imaginable, and they're looking for something to stick. It's like throwing again pasta at the wall and seeing if it's done yet or not.
Bad Bunny pointed out something that the most obvious one staring us in the face. Thank you, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's good for that. We appreciate it. YouTube, fucking YouTube. Which was so funny because when I started watching YouTube, I was watching a bunch of YouTubers saying that YouTube was dying. It took me a minute to figure out, but what was happening was YouTubers have the same life as your average TV show.
Yep.
5 to 6 years, and you guys move on to other YouTubers. And that's fine. That's the way it goes. You know, we know our time is limited here. It's not going to nothing lasts forever. Enjoy the time we have. I'm enjoying right now. That's a great point, Bad Bunny. Interactive viewing, interactive entertainment, and not like choose your own adventure. Like, hey, I can talk to Man of Action and read his the time of the robber barons is at hand. Goddamn straight. And yeah, I love that. You know, that's oh, thanks. Will last forever. Ted Distel says Nerdrotic channel will last forever. Let's hope so. And interactive porn.
We'll keep on rocking forever.
Rocking forever, man.
Did I sign up with Stars? Is this Stars suddenly? We're on for 3 seasons and bye?
No, nothing that you see here. You know, just don't look at the man behind the curtain.
No, don't look at the man not wearing pants. He's not wearing pants.
Losing my microphone there.
Have you seen Star Trek Continues? It's on YouTube. It's a continuation spirit of the original Star Trek. Marcus Khan, I have. It is wonderful. It is absolutely that and Axanar. The creativity on that show, it's really well done. I love it. I love it to death.
Viking Bitch says, speaking of condoms, did you know they make them chocolate flavor? I supply them to the teens I work with.
Oh,
you do God's work. You do God's work.
You guys know that Shatner may be coming back to the Star Trek universe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
They didn't outright say it, but they said, well, their response when pressed was, well, never say never. I don't know if he'd come back. He's pretty pissed. He's pretty pissed at JJ. And if it was Shatner and Patrick Stewart boxing each other, I would watch. They go back to Generations, and he gets into the Nexus, and they just fight. So we can finally answer the question: who would win between a fight? We all know fucking Kirk would kick his ass.
Wow. Kirk would go, "Hey, look over there. There's some Earl Grey."
Yeah,
karate chop.
Would you tell me some? Would you recite some Shakespeare for me? Well, I should. Captain Sulu.
Shatner, when I read that, and I love Bill Shatner, and when I read that, I thought, please don't let this happen, because I was like, okay, Picard, maybe they'll explain how that's going to take, what's going to happen there, but Shatner's pushing 90. I just don't see how anybody would even entertain a show.
Well, freaking Picard is 79.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so they recently did that with Ian McKellen with you know with Gandalf, and they pulled it off because they were able to do stunt. But you can tell when it's like Ian McKellen, then stuntman running, in The Hobbit. I still loved it, but I'm telling you, the Patrick Stewart show is going to be young Jean-Luc Picard. It's going to be like young Indiana Jones. He's going to show up in the beginning and at the end of every episode, and he's going to go on little adventures, and it's going to redo the entire Next Generation canon, at least 25%.
Oh, Lord.
It's supposed to take place 20 years after
his parts. His
Nemesis,
parts,
I thought is what they said.
They haven't said anything. They said it's going to be current time, but they haven't said like his part. So he could be in current time, and then they could be telling a prequel. I'm telling you, they'll sneak in a prequel on it somehow. What else would it be? Then it's going to be the Star Trek Academy show that Doomcock was talking about, where he would head the academy or something, and it would just be a bunch of kids, and then he would, no
Pop
means
in for
no.
some wisdom.
Yeah, and that would
here's some chocolate condoms for you kids.
Or he's a lawyer and he does space courtroom dramas, and
oh my
it's
God,
called Card Lock. So
single space captain lawyer.
Oh man.
And he'll keep passing out chocolate condoms to all the kids.
If they do that academy idea, while it sounds viable, all I can think of is basically it's Professor X in space again, and we're just redoing the X-Men in the Star Trek world.
They could.
They could,
I'm sorry, I started laughing. Viking Bitch says I've also got banana flavored dental dams, and I was thinking, banana flavored dental dams, chocolate condoms. You got chocolate banana.
Oh, a banana.
Yeah, but your mouth would have to be down there for both of them. So unless you just want to have the dental dams and the condoms by themselves, which, hey.
Do we have anything strawberry flavored so we can just get everything in there like a banana split?
There you go.
There's
so many jokes
in that area.
You guys can just dive in at all the low hanging fruit from that joke, from those jokes right there.
Movie for Nobody says talk about funky monkeys.
Ooh.
Monkeys in heat. Yes.
Any ice cream in there? Yeah, if you want there to be Man of Action.
That's gonna make a really bad. Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I was going someplace. I'm just not going. Gary knows where I'm going.
By not going there, you went there. You're there. You're there.
know.
You just passed it, by the way. You got to go back. You got to hit the next on it.
Soccer Blue says, Soccer Blue, the deadly poke of Zorro, says Picard as the crusty dean of the Starfleet version of Animal House. I'm sorry, dude. That's a great name.
I want to see Picard going, fat, drunk, and stupid. There's no way to go through life, son.
Oh my God.
Well, out with it.
Oh, that is my favorite line of any movie ever.
Yeah. I'm drunk and stupid. There's no way to go through life, son.
Words to fucking live by. Picard sitting on his rocking chair by a fireplace with the kids from the village. Mr. Picard, can you tell me a story about outer space?
Oh God.
That's what it's gonna be.
Somebody posted a meme of him, and I laughed my head off, and I felt bad, but it was from a TNG episode, and he's evidently in a wheelchair or something, and somebody's pushing him, and the meme was the next Jean-Luc Picard show or something like that, and it was awful, but I had to laugh.
Double secret suspension number 1. Make it so.
Make it so.
Sean Connery should be the next Starfleet captain. Is what Persian Scribe says.
Yes.
He wouldn't know where he was for that one.
Well, he needs the money for taxes. He actually needs the money.
Yeah, he does. Oh,
does my mic need a chocolate strawberry condom? It's fresh. Sure. Yeah, I could lick my mic while I'm doing the show. I could have a tasty treat.
Hey, Viking bitch, is there anything caramel? Caramel's always good.
Was sea salt. I like the sea
Yeah,
salt.
sea salt caramel. I love that. Let's make that
It's all your fault, Viking bitch.
Yeah, it is. And now it's evolved. Grevlin, you want to hear about the Gunn story? Is what you want to hear about? We can move on to the Gunn story. Why not?
Speaking of which, Bad Bunny said Sean Connery has nearly lost his voice. He has?
Oh,
That's too bad.
bad.
My microphone licking. Yeah, we can move on to the Gunn story.
Yeah, I figured it was a good time to move beyond that. So Dave Bautista says that he'll quit Guardians of the Galaxy. Basically just asks them to let him go from the script if Guardians of the Galaxy 3, if Gunn's script isn't used. And as a result of this, we've already heard that Marvel may actually be using his script anyway, because and then Gunn is being sought by other studios as well. So, you know, Fox, Warner Brothers, all this kind of stuff, they're out there. And as a result of that, now James Gunn might not be done with Disney at all yet, because Marvel, or Kevin Feige, has stepped in to talk to Disney, to meet with them and talk to see if they can bring him back as a director. It's all been happening all within like the span of 2 days.
Yeah. So,
crazy amount of news.
I would like to hear what y'all think about James Gunn coming back. I mean, forgive and forget, or if you bring James Gunn back, to bring Roseanne back as well, which I think is their intention all along. I don't think they're going to let that show go. I think. Do you think damage has been done? These okay. Let's reminder that, like, whether they were jokes or not, there was. I mean, how many of them were there? I mean, there were a lot of pedophile jokes, like a lot. So does that stain the movie for, you know, the normie public or the people who just know him from that? So, I mean, most people probably didn't even know who the fuck James Gunn was. Okay.
Yeah.
So now they know him as the guy who made the pedophile jokes, or some people even worse, because they're getting wherever they get their information, and it doesn't matter. The narrative has been written on this one, whether it's true or not, almost doesn't matter at this point. So I am curious to see what our wonderful chat thinks on this one. I don't listen. If a gun was put to my head, no pun intended, I'd say forgive the guy, because I'm a forgive, but sometimes don't forget kind of guy. So, and I've been forgiven a lot in my life. Now I haven't made pedo anything in my life, but I mean, I've been, so I'm all about forgiveness, but I don't know. What do you think, Dennis?
Honestly, I can see where Disney's coming from. They're looking at it from their brand perspective.
Yeah.
And they've already fired him. And yeah, they also own the Roseanne show as well. And they're bringing back the Connors is what they're doing without Roseanne. I think they should just leave him as it is. Use his script, because he's already turned in a first script as it is. Use the script, but don't bring him back as a director. That's perfectly fine. And he's going to go off. He's going to do some other stuff somewhere else. It's going to be just as good. So
yeah,
I think Warner Brothers wants him, from what I reported on.
They need
Warner
him,
Brothers is courting him. Yeah. And at this point, leaving my personal thoughts out of it, Disney made a business decision. Whether or not I agree with it or anybody else agrees with it, it's done. It was a decision. If they renege on it and then they don't bring Roseanne back, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because then people are going to come at them and say, well, Roseanne needs to be back. What they should do, what they probably will do, is, like Dennis said, they'll let that stand. They'll negotiate a payout with James Gunn, which could be anywhere from 7 mil to 10 mil or even larger. They'll negotiate a payout. In the meantime, he's being courted by other people, which he can't say yay or nay to yet, obviously for legal reasons. And I think we're going to see him reemerge at some other studio, or maybe some independent entity But I think what they'll do, to be fair, because they don't want to lose their cash cow, they don't want to lose Bautista, Pratt, Saldana, they'll keep Gunn's script and they'll look to get somebody that the cast will approve of. And then it's like a win-win.
The problem with this is it will not be the same. This was solely James Gunn's work. So again, I'm just being honest. I'm a dad, and we all make mistakes. And I also think Roseanne should be let back. We all make fucking mistakes. And if people come out and say they're sorry, I think, especially losing your fucking job and everything, that's okay. So there's the argument with James Gunn. These are old. That's a very good argument. They're old, but they're pedo jokes. And this is a family company. So I totally see what Disney did. And they had every fucking right to do it.
I saw it too.
But Roseanne is a comedian who makes very crass jokes. She freaking spat after she did the goddamn
national anthem
at a Padre game. So I mean, this is nothing new for her. So I don't know. I think if they both come out with like apologies, which honestly, it's all for show anyway. I am of the belief you bring them both back or you keep them both gone. And but I think Disney's going to not bring him back. I don't think Disney.
I don't think they're bringing him back either.
But this could cause trouble. This is going to cause trouble down the line. This is going to cause a division amongst the MCU and Disney and all kinds of stuff because he was wildly popular within the MCU. People loved him. We're going to see defections. He's pretty much going to I'll just call it. He's going to Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, he's going to Warner Brothers.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy will not be as good without him directing. Period.
Remember that whole thing where they said, "Oh, we don't know what's happening with the Man of Steel movie." Guess what just happened? Guess where he's going? Guess what he's going to be directing? He's going to be directing Superman.
Yeah, if they can get Henry Cavill worked out. But I totally believe that. I think they would. I would give him. That would be perfect. You give him, because Guardians. He made Guardians into a top tier franchise, and I would give him the top tier franchise immediately.
Yep.
And I would give him creative control, and he is not bound by some Marvel cinematic or some cinematic universe. Like, you go do what you want. But there's still going to be that taint on him. And whether it's fair or not, that's not what we're debating at. It's going to be there. So I don't know. Let's go to the chat.
Mako, Feisty Fan says, I don't care. Mako says, I can't forgive someone for a joke. Johnny Papa says, I think he should be allowed to come back. Rubber Brain 10,000. Hey, we haven't seen you in a while.
What's up, Rubber Brain?
Says, don't half-ass it. Either bring him back as director or ignore him completely. Mako says, if Bob Iger didn't want to be president, he wouldn't fire Gunn nor Roseanne. And there were 28 jokes out of 10,000 tweets.
28 pedo jokes?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's even for me, that's a lot.
That's a lot. I think like 2 or 3. I think this would be, I would be calling bullshit on this. 28. And it depends on the period of time. And all that, he's just being an edgelord. And I get it. I do. But I get what Disney did too. If Disney is not happy about the situation at all, they want
they're
back.
Pissed.
They want. Listen, they know. They probably even had this conversations like, dude, we'd love to bring you back, but then we'd have to fucking bring Roseanne back.
Yep. And they go, nobody wants Roseanne back.
We can't.
Kidding. Man of Action says, going to have to. Disney is taking it on the chin from all sides. They are losing their shirts at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be trouble. If we want a little Disney Schadenfreude on this one, we did a couple podcasts a while back called Marvel versus Star Wars. I even had to kind of push Dennis into doing because I said like this shit's gonna really make them top heavy, and these things are gonna get really expensive, and then you're dealing with a lot of people, and there's bound to be drama, and things are gonna like get fucked up, and this is a best example of how a great thing gets derailed over something that's completely out of its control.
Like they did everything right, man. They planned out. Kevin Feige's in charge. They got all the right actors. All the movies were freaking hitting like the sweet spot every time. How many movies, how many series when they get older get better? Like nothing ever does that.
Yeah.
So like it was just on top of the world, and then James Gunn, and hopefully this doesn't derail it at all. But we're coming at the end. We're getting phase 4 is coming up, and honestly, Guardians was like your one sure thing.
The bottom line is people need to be careful on social media. And if I were a celebrity on social media, I would immediately turn my feeds over to my PR people. I would wash my hands of it because it's only going to get worse. If you have political leanings and they don't jibe with certain people and you're vocal, you're a target. And then it's all bets are off. And these celebrities have to learn. I don't know how they're going to learn, except maybe now they will with James Gunn, is that don't get on and drunk tweet. Don't get on and ambient tweet. Don't get on and start espousing your personal political philosophies. We don't care. We want you to shut up
Don't give
and
a fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shut the fuck up.
Preach. That's it. It's that simple. I mean, like we've done almost 500 shows. We managed to not get political. We've edged it, gotten close a couple times, but we manage it, and we have a great time in here. But yes, you have. Don't I muted you. So and I might mute now. So so I yeah, it's just what Susan said. Just shut the fuck up and act and do your thing. And if you need to talk, go find a clubhouse or something and go talk with or call a friend and confirmation biased each other to death. I don't care. But God damn it. They're not going to learn though. They are not going to learn. And we're going to continue watching this. And it's on them at this point. I mean, it's not like this is a secret anymore. All right. It's a pretty simple plan. We lost Artemis or LOL Artemis. Okay. I can't read.
Oh, no, he's there. Artemis is there. Artemis says mint chocolate condom tweets.
Tweets are okay though. Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah. Mint chocolate condoms. Does that burn or no? Never mind.
No. Yeah, it'll burn.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think there wasn't tweeting around when I was getting loaded.
I mean, this whole thing makes me sad because this world we live in, it's not a fun world anymore. It's not, we have to watch our backs. It's like we're all in the mafia and we're trying to get out. We got to watch our backs. We have to turn around. I mean, George Orwell, he wasn't kidding. This is 1984, except 2018. And it's like, it just is sad because now popular culture is going to be shanghaied because of all this drama behind the scenes.
Oh, it already is. It already is. Yeah. By the way, Grovlane said, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I may not go see Guardians 3. Simple as that. And that's the question I was asking out there. And that's, you have every right to do that, and it's what Susan's saying. Hollywood has painted themselves into the worst corner right now. Okay. They've got this, they got this horrible over PC thing going on. They're over political. They can't make things pretty anymore. The new Batgirl is too pretty of a lesbian now. That's some of the stuff I heard. Like they're really, I mean, it's hard to be creative with so many constraints coming around, so many things. Like I can't imagine being a writer in Hollywood right now, and you're not free to write as you like. You have to check yourself before you go.
Yeah. Before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
Even in my little corner of the world where I'm nobody, I have to always think about what I write, especially covering James Gunn. I had to keep it to the point. I did it like a news piece, which is what journalists should be. We should be unbiased and impartial. And in my James Gunn pieces, I didn't interject any personal thoughts whatsoever into it because, even on Twitter, I have to be careful because I don't know who knows who's in my feed, what's going on. And in a way, it's frustrating because then, like you said, Gary, to your point, if you're a writer, which I am, it's hard to create if you've always got to be worried. Well, this is a funny line, not about pedophilia or anything, but a real comedic line. But oh boy, this person's going to be offended. Okay, strike that. Okay, how about this? Nope, they're offended. Okay, and then at what point do we not have creativity?
Well, yeah, I was also thinking we are also having to do with casting as well. So we're seeing quite a bit of this lately where people are being called out because, okay, you're casting a non-trans person in a trans role, and that's not right. And I'm like, okay, so you do realize that's what acting is about, is you become someone else.
Yeah, the best argument is Scarlett Johansson can no longer play Black Widow because she's not a real superhero.
Yeah.
So she can't identify being, and she's not Russian either. So,
and yes, I understand. Superhero. I mean, you're not going to cast, you're not going to cast somebody who is, of course, a different race or something like that, or cast a white person as a black person or anything like that. You're not going to do stuff like that. That's obvious. But I mean, yeah, come on. There is.
We're just getting constrained, and it's going to be a problem. Hopefully, hey, the pendulum will swing the other way, and I think this will pass. This too shall pass. It's a great saying in recovery. I think it's already on its way out. There's a lot. I mean, Hollywood's usually down the line from stuff, so I think it's already on its way out. Let's get on to some other a fun subject.
Yeah, I was sorry. One last thing I just want to say, I was thinking of Warren Ellis because all of Warren Ellis's work, his books and stuff like that, are completely non-PC. And he's actually got a great
Garth Ennis, Warren Ellis, all of pretty much all those old Vertigo writers who probably couldn't, even Mark Millar.
Yeah, and he actually has a great line about I follow him on his Twitter where he talks about the horror of existence as he puts it, which I thought was kind of funny, just the way of phrasing that way.
Wow, that's dark.
It is rarely dark. It is very dark, but at the same time, when you think about it, it's pretty damn funny at the same time.
Is it? I think it's kind of sad. It's sad when somebody says that out loud, but I don't know.
The way he does it in the Twitter, it's actually pretty
I know. I read his tweets. Yeah. No, and he's a nihilist, dude. He is.
He's
straight up a nihilist. Yeah.
Yeah. I take him in small doses. It's the only way you can do it. So speaking of casting, we have Ruby Rose has been cast as the CW's Batwoman.
My only thoughts on this is we have another peripheral Batman character coming to the screen, yet we have no Batman, and I don't care. Move on. It's another CW show we're not going to cover.
Black Mask will now be the main villain in Birds of Prey. The Birds of Prey movie, I should say.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to be the big bad, is Black Mask.
That movie seems crowded. I mean, with all these people, it's like, okay, this, I get Infinity Wars behind, the impetus behind that, and it was supposed to be crowded, but I mean, it's like, at what point is all of this going to cancel everything out? I don't know.
Well, see, the thing is, this is done by Warner Brothers, so Warner Brothers still hasn't found a way of doing well. Justice League wasn't as bad as it could have been, quite honestly. But they still haven't figured it out the way Marvel has, because Marvel has done a better job of doing big ensemble casts. I mean, come on, you look at Infinity War, which had 70 plus characters in there, and it worked well.
Yeah, and Stun the Wobat says Ruby Rose. You couldn't gotten somebody better than that. And like, I guess she's not the best actress in the world, but she's pretty. And they just went for the prettiest face, and that's the CW. And that shows you where Hollywood is still at. So they got to find ways to get around pretty, because.
Well, she also has something else going for her too.
Oh yeah, she's part of the LBGT.
Well, I think she said Omni. That's
No,
what I heard anyway.
fluid. She's fluid.
She's fluid. So basically, you're going to hear that a lot to get roles. People will do many, many things to get roles. I'm not saying that was her. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Let's just say it's in the realm of possibility. Maybe she really is fluid, and she's like, well, I'll use my fluidity for my fluid job. Good for her. The Boys is amazing, Johnny Pappas. I'm glad. He said, I love The Boys so much. This chat, you guys turned me on to it. It is so fucking good. Garth Ennis at some of his best.
Yeah. And I was also going to say Ruby Rose was such a bad actress in John Wick 2 that they actually made her a mute. You know you're a bad actress is when they give you no speaking lines. She had to sign all her lines.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batwoman. I mean, like, it's the Batwoman's fine as a character. It's cool. I'd just like to see the Batman, but I guess we're not going to get that. So, yeah, like Feisty just said, feelings in hallways. Don't care.
Yeah, but that's gonna be
Black Bass is a good villain, and I think it might be a fun movie. It depends how they do it.
Yeah, I mean Margot Robbie, they're gonna have her come back as
she was great.
Harley Quinn. I think they're doing Poison Ivy and Batgirl. Excuse me. So those are going to be the three. Oh, excuse me. Take that back. Huntress and Black Canary, because they're actually scouting 2 actresses right now for Huntress and Black Canary.
Yeah.
So, also Warner Brothers is working on a script for a Supergirl movie.
Man of Action says The Boys is so fucking good that I still remember the whole run. Good for you, Man of Action. I love a lot of stuff I don't remember anymore. It sucks. Helen Slater forever. God damn it.
Yeah.
Is this? I don't know. When I saw that, I was thinking back to Kevin Smith and his little, quiet tweet. Well, not so quiet about working on.
I really hope not. No.
Do you think it's a possibility?
Yes.
No, they already said who the writer is. The writer is Oren Uziel.
Right.
Uziel.
I was thinking more directing, maybe.
No, he said he was writing that. He just finished writing something.
Okay.
Yeah, for an IP that he can't say.
It's a possibility he's working for DC. I think that's a very good. I mean, like, what? Name me some IPs that are really popular right now that are not DC, James Bond, Planet of the Apes, MCU, Star Wars.
He's been directing a whole bunch of CW episodes as well, so he's definitely in with the DC crowd. Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually, and I was thinking about this when we were at Comic-Con because they were doing the whole Supergirl retrospective and having Helen Slater there and all of that because they were releasing it on Blu-ray, and I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to push it into a movie. And sure enough, so we got another movie that's coming out of it. So.
I think it's overexposure with her, honestly. I think her series is getting long in the tooth, and I don't know how many people are going to want to rush out to see a Supergirl movie that's different from the... Yeah, there's too much overlap. I wish DC would make movies of people that aren't in their TV shows, like something new. The Expanse, Remember the Can't. Yes. In a little bit, by the way, to get to our title, there's a terrible IO9 article that's that says Jean-Luc Picard's show should be Star Trek's The Last Jedi. Yes, it was low hanging fruit clickbait that I ate up like and I wanted to see how the other side thinks. I want to like get into the mind of somebody, and I know the reason they wrote the article, but they actually believe it. It's IO9. I mean, we know what we're getting out of IO9. It's a Gizmodo website, so it's garbage. But yes, it's definitely worth reading. It's fun. Let's do it for fun. We'll do that in a little bit.
Yeah, Rian Johnson should be the new showrunner of Star Trek.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he probably do
agree with you,
better
Michael.
than he would on Last Jedi, but not well. No, I think you get Vince Gilligan to run anything, and
Meryl
I'd be
Streep for
okay.
Supergirl is what Persian Scribe says.
Yeah.
She would act the hell out of that, though. Come on.
Mm.
Yeah. So remember Cowboy Ninja Viking, that comic book from Image Comics? There was a movie that was being done with Chris Pratt that was supposed to be underway, and now it's delayed indefinitely. It's been taken off the schedule completely by Universal.
Yep.
It's gone back to development hell.
What happens is they buy these properties, they get them to the production level, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's a superhero movie, and it requires money." Okay, sorry now.
Yeah,
Here's your
and
10 grand for your option, kid. See you later.
this is Universal that passed on Hellboy, doing like Hellboy 3, which was probably the easiest slam dunk for them in the world.
Is it now? I'm Hellboy fan here. Okay, Hellboy fan. How much did the last Hellboy didn't do that well? So it did okay, but it didn't do that well.
Well, I'm saying they could have still scaled it back and still done a decent movie and just finished out the trilogy that they wanted to do.
Well, you know who turned it down was Guillermo del Toro.
Well, yeah, it's because other people were coming up to him and offering him dump trucks full of money, and Universal was like, "Oh, here, we'll give you. Do you want the Subway card for some sandwiches?"
I'm down on Guillermo. I think he dumps out of too many projects. He's like Brian Fuller.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
He and Frank Darabont, like, who's probably one of the best writers. He's kind of like the modern day Harlan Ellison, except angrier. No, I think just as angry. Harlan Ellison was pretty angry, dude. Both two guys who should have been bigger than they were, who should be known as some of the greatest writers ever, and they are in some areas, but they're really, really angry people, and they're hard to work with. So, which sucks.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water was Hellboy. Yeah, that was Abe Sapien Get Some.
Mm-hmm.
Or The Last Temptation of Abe Sapien.
Oh my god.
Abe Sapien far and away. Sorry. That might have been a deep cut for too many people there. Epix, which is also known as Sony, because that is their streaming service, is developing a series based on Slaughterhouse 5.
Excellent. That sounds awesome.
It also sounds a bit weird. I mean, because we're having time travel.
5 is weird. It's
Yeah.
very weird. It's like the king of weird, and that's why I love it.
And I'm wondering how it's... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking it could be sustainable if done correctly. But then it could harken back to Quantum Leap in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, who's making it? Epix?
Epix,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so it won't be procedural TV. I mean, and they're doing Mr. Mercedes, right? No, I could be wrong about that.
No, they're not doing Mr.
Epix?
Mercedes.
That's audience.
That's odd. Is it audience? Okay, so
Yeah.
oh, I don't want that ad. Here we go. Slaughterhouse 5 series lands development at Epix. Based on Kurt Vonnegut's classic novel of the same name, the project focuses on Billy Pilgrim, a World War II soldier who becomes unstuck in time and travels back and forth through his past, present, and future. The novel explores the idea of predestination versus free will, the impacts of war, as well as perception of time itself. It's really a story you could have so much fun with. UCP will produce the series. Hails from the writer and executive producer Patrick McManus, who is currently the showrunner on Happy. Hey, Gail Ann Hurd of Valhalla Entertainment, and also executive producers, along with John Brown and Ensemble Entertainment and Bradley Yonover and Brandon Y. Media and some other people who worked on The Handmaid's Tale. That sounds fucking awesome.
It's got a good pedigree to it, at least.
Yeah. God damn. When are we talking? 2000. Is everything's coming out in 2019?
Yeah. 2019, 2020, somewhere around there.
Color me interested. That sounds pretty fucking rad. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, Man of Action. I agree. Universal does need to hit. They need money. They
They
did
did
lose
the
a
Fast
lot.
and the Furious.
But yeah, they also did The Mummy, and were in pre-production with the sequel to that whole Dark Universe thing, and that took a
Yeah, but they
path.
bailed out of it before they lost a bunch of money. I mean, they listen. they don't need it like as bad as Paramount does. Paramount's like the one that's about to go.
Sony's actually in worse shape, actually.
Sony is, and we'll get to them.
Excuse me.
We'll get to them in a second. I'm gonna read my Picardo article first, and then we'll get to Sony, because Sony's gonna fuck some shit up.
Yep.
Like badly, dude. Like they're like, that's another thing, like out of the MCU's control, that's gonna derail them big time. It's like you've got this, for lack of a better term, coked out producer over here. Like, man, we should like, name me some Spider-Man villains. We'll do a J. Jonah Jameson movie and
oh my god,
Ned Leeds movie, and just so we can get like, they're forcing their way into the MCU, and they're gonna win. They're like, I don't know why the MCU. Well, I mean, what is this? You lose Spider-Man, or you play ball with Sony, and
Well, yeah, and when we get to that, there's one guy that derailed the Sam Raimi train too. That's behind this latest move. So
that guy sounds like a dick. You want to just let's do that now. Let's do that now. Then we'll do
okay. Let's do that now. So what Sony is doing, they're determined to force their way into the MCU, and so all these movies that they're going to be making are going to be PG-13, including the Venom movie is going to be PG-13 in order to fall in line with the MCU. I remember they were doing that Silver and Black. It was Black Cat and Silver Sable movie.
I can't wait to see that.
They put a stop on that, and now they've separated it. So they're going to be a Black Cat movie and a Silver Sable movie. They're no longer together. They're separate.
Look at that Venom picture. I
wonder if that's a flavored condom at all.
Oh my god!
They're also doing a Morbius movie, which has Jared Leto
I gotta
attached.
Line it up just right with the screen. Hopefully. Oh, I can't get it that low. Damn it.
They're also going to be doing a Jackpot movie, which is a very little known Spider-Man villain, and a Night Watch movie as well.
Oh god.
Night Watch.
Yeah, Night Watch.
Watch.
They want to call this the Sony Universe of Marvel Characters, or the SUMC.
Night Watch.
Yeah.
Could we make it SCUM somehow?
Isn't that Richard Meyer's favorite superhero character out there? Who I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You're right. You are right on that. Yeah, I remember. So this is not just Amy Pascal who's doing this. Avri Arad is also involved in this as well.
He's the guy that derailed Sam Raimi and made Spider-Man 3 the travesty that it is, because he wanted Venom in that movie. He wasn't content with just Sandman. He wanted Venom. He wanted all these other movie villains in it. And basically what they did is they forced Sam Raimi out because they wanted to do the reboot. So Sam was just like, I know you want to do the reboot anyway. Here you go. And just kind of walked away.
I would have loved to have seen Spider-Man 4. It sounded like it was going to be rad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And you're right, Mako. Avri Arad is Fahey's mentor. But the thing is, Fahey learned all the stuff not to do from Avri.
Don't get too down on Avi. We would not have an MCU without him. Okay.
Oh, I know that, but
he was responsible for the first Spider-Man movie. It's like we all make mistakes. Like I said, we all make mistakes, and goddamn Spider-Man 3 was a fucking mistake, and get rid of Sam Raimi. And that's another guy. Fucking WB. If you're looking for directors who know how to make superhero movies, Sam Raimi, fucking Raimi.
Exactly.
Let me read this real quick. Venom, the highly anticipated comic book adaptation that hits the theaters in October, isn't just an attempt to do justice to the legendary symbiotes after a lackluster appearance in 2007's aforementioned Spider-Man 3. It's also a big budget bet that Sony Pictures that the world of Spider-Man can spawn an interconnected series of superhero stories that rival what Disney has created. Okay, hold the phone. As a fan of Spider-Man who's read a hell of a lot of Spider-Man, Spider-Man is popular because of Spider-Man. That's what actually makes him a little more special than Batman. Don't kill me, DC fans. Truth hurts. Batman relies heavily on his villains. He has the best villains of any superhero, period. And Spider-Man has kind of the silliest, but Spider-Man, hey, listen, the chat can go all day about like who's better, Spider-Man and Batman. Let's just get along. They're both awesome. But yeah, Marvel characters, and that's what Warner Brothers is attempting to pull off with the DC heroes. With Disney's acquisition of Fox, which I will parentheses here, means they can't buy Sony. Sony is now the only major studio outside of the Magic Kingdom that is licensing rights to Marvel characters. Fox has no longer has the Fantastic Four. We all fucking know that. If it all goes according to plan, the long lead box office tracking indicates that this film will at least open well. That's not a shining endorsement. Then Sony will quickly segue from Venom into a series of sequels and standalone films. So, all right. So everything is dependent on Venom being good. So I don't think we have much to worry about here.
No,
I don't think it's going to be good. I wish it would be, but I don't think it's going to be good. And it's going to spawn. What's it called, Dennis? Here, let's
SUMC.
It's called the SUMC. It is called the Sony Universe of Marvel Characters. The SUMC. Yeah. So the SUMC is coming.
Good night, movie Fanobi.
Good night, movie Fanobi. Whoa, bailing out on us. Bummer. Good night, movie Fanobi. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's getting late. I should probably read that article pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, I got time. All right, we got 45 more minutes, folks. Yeah, Dennis, your thoughts?
God damn, that's all I can say, man. They're actually doing this. It's pretty funny that Aaron's involved in this. At first I was just thinking it was just Amy Pascal on a coked out binge going, let's do everything Spider-Man. But now that I'm seeing that Avi's involved in this and having a big hand in it, I'm like, dude, so you're really that jealous of what Kevin's done, right? Everything he's created over it.
Do you think that's it, or do you think he was asked to come in? I mean, we don't want to go to the nasty part. By the way, Brian Smart, Sam Raimi's Darkman trilogy was the fucking bomb. Darkman was the fucking bomb. Yeah. That was a great movie. That could be it, Dennis. I mean, I think they're probably just asking him back. Okay, can I just bring up real quick that James Gunn and Roseanne don't have jobs, but Amy Pascal is working with and running Spider-Man, and she wrote racist shit in her email about Obama, but she's working and running shit. I mean, like, I just pointing it out. Pointing it out. Like, she's out there working, and okay, so whatever. Maybe it just takes another YouTuber to make a video and just point that out, like, hey, remember? And then you sideline the SUMC.
Yeah, Man of Action. They're also talking about Spider-Gwen and Silk, and they're talking about a whole bunch of different characters. They say they have a stable of 900 characters they can choose from.
Amy Pascal is to cocaine as what Janeway is to coffee, allegedly, says Mako.
If I see fan member berries. Member. It's a South Park thing.
We'll see. The whole track looks like a shit show in training, says Man of Action. It really does.
Nihilist Shadow. There's cocaine in that nebula. Good night, Mikey. Bitch. Thank you for the $2.
Thank you for the tuna.
Dental dams for all.
Dental dams for all. Spider-Verse. Oh boy. Oh boy.
There's cocaine in that nebula. Warp speed. Fire up the tardigrade.
I'm gonna shroom my way into some cocaine.
That's how they came up with the idea.
That's how they came up with the tardigrade while they were on cocaine.
Yeah,
that's what. Okay, gotcha.
It all makes sense now.
That is a good point, RoboBrain 10,000. Universal still has the Hulk.
Yeah, it does.
An entertainment article did not fact check. I am so surprised. These are the same people who was writing that Black Panther was the first African American superhero to have a movie and stuff. So, yeah.
What site is this?
Yeah. What site was that? What were we using there?
I forget now. I was looking.
Variety.
Variety. It was Variety.
Shame
Yes.
on you,
Variety, a trade? Wow.
Yeah. They are not. That is not. Yeah. They did not fact check that Universal still owns the Hulk.
Oh.
And all they have to do is make a fucking Hulk movie.
Yeah.
But I think they get, like, when the Hulk is in the Avengers, they get a piece. So I think they're pretty happy with that arrangement.
Are you happy with Ruffalo staying as the Hulk?
Yeah. I am.
I am. I felt a little bad because we were making fun of how he was talking, and then I found out like he had like something happen to him. So
the actor for real?
Yeah, like I heard that like something actually happened to him. Like,
oh
yeah. So I was like, ooh, I'll shut up about that. Sorry.
What happened to him? Dude?
I thought he was just getting like, I don't know, method or something like that. And it's like, no. I heard something happen. So.
Oh. Yeah, man of action. That isn't normal for them to fuck up like that for Variety. Oh, wow. Feisty fan said he had cancer, a brain tumor.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah. I decided to shut up and go, you're an asshole, Gary.
But it was benign. I just looked it up. It's benign.
Yeah.
And he had, as a result, he had the partial facial paralysis.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was that, or he was getting like Bell's palsy or something like that. That happened to a coworker of mine. I watched it happening, and that was weird.
That was
so
sudden.
weird.
Anthony Perkins had that.
Yeah, it like happened right in front of me. I was like, "Whoa, are you okay,
Whoa.
dude?" And like his face, just half of it kind of started moving down his face. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then of course I called an ambulance.
Wow.
When he said I can't feel my face. So sorry. I mean, yeah, no, it was freaky. It was totally freaky. But let's get to some fun stuff.
Yeah. No, I did not like Ed Norton's banner, by the way. Ed Burr. It was yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So come on, why don't you read your article there?
I didn't hate him as Banner. I wish, it's too bad he didn't stay on because I like him in God so many other things. Fucking Fight Club. Come on.
I liked him. Yeah, I do like him as what he portrays on screen, but from what I understand, as a person, he's really repellent on set, and that's the reason why they didn't ask him back.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did get a pretty good dig in at the MCU on the Bruce Willis roast.
Oh yeah.
Which was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay, but I mean, like, I watched that Shatner one, which was kind of the greatest roast ever. So it's hard to match that.
Oh yeah.
God, that was so good. That was my birthday. I think it was my 40th birthday when that came on. It was so fucking good. I can go back and watch that again. That Shatner roast was genius. I'll read a couple more chat while I'm setting up the article here.
All right. So Mako says, do you remember that movie where the kids in a school had to snort cocaine because there was an alien invasion going on and the aliens needed water all the time? Oh yeah, that was the Elijah Woods was in that. The faculty. Yeah, the faculty.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was they were snorting diet pills, crushed up diet pills, because they would take all the water out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dexies.
Yeah.
Oh, Dexies were awesome back in the
day. I remember that now.
Used to get prescribed Dexies for hyperactivity. And yeah. Never mind.
Mako says it's 80 Pascal's favorite movie.
I think we just accidentally associated Amy Pascal with cocaine. Well, I mean,
yeah, I was just gonna say,
allegedly.
Have you seen an interview with her?
I really like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, good. She's gonna be in the MCU. So is Venom. Talk like a penguin.
She sounds like Edgar G. Robinson.
Yeah.
Listen here.
Yeah.
Curtains for you, Rocky. Curtains. Oh, they're adorable.
Yeah, see?
All right. So, this is the greatest news article ever written. It is by James Whitbrook. It's from IO9. Just a bastion of truth and justice in the American way. And I do listen. This is clickbait garbage. I just wanted to read everybody because the title had. I mean, like somebody wants something to be like The Last Jedi, and just that seeing that, like, amazing. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm like, what? Really? Okay. So the new Star Trek show is a chance to Last Jedi the hell out of Captain Picard. What does that even mean? Okay, let's find out.
Basically, what he's saying is, and I'm just going to paraphrase it just real quickly.
Let's read it. Let's read it. We don't need to ruin it. Let's read it. Star Trek Las Vegas 2018 confirmed a huge piece of news for the Star Trek universe last week. The rumors were true, and Sir Patrick Stewart would be returning to television to reprise his role as older, wiser Jean-Luc Picard in a new Star Trek series. We know little else about the series beyond that, but we only hope it does for Picard what Star Wars did, or what Last Jedi did for Luke Skywalker. What? That sort of hoping might rankle some longtime Star Trek fans. In fact, many of them have spent the last few days desperately hoping for the direct opposite of Star Trek The Last Jedi. It says it right there. Man, I should change the name of the podcast to that just for fun. They've read Stewart's own statement that the new show's Picard would be a man who has been changed by his experiences, and shuddered at the mere thought of a disillusioned, weary Picard roaming around an isolated family vineyard, swigging freshly squeezed targ milk. Ew. They've already had to go through the traumatic fictional upheaval. Why wish that another old hero? Why can't Picard just be Picard we saw in the Next Generation movies? Because it would be kind of boring for starters. Oh God. Okay. As someone who loved the deconstructionist bent of The Last Jedi, and
wait a minute, what the deconstructionist bent? That's pretentious. I hate
totally pretentious, and it's opposite of what this person was saying about The Last Jedi. If you read what they said about The Last Jedi 6 months ago, when they're all, it's actually moving the character forward and it gives them a good end. So now you admit it was deconstructionist. Okay, that's good. And especially the way it brought Luke's journey to an end. I'd love a new Picard series to do something similar. Then how could you love Picard? Yeah, see, you don't love these characters. That's the thing, is that's why I'm trying to get into this person's mind. They don't like these characters. They're kind of posers.
Yeah, it's what is it? Some people like to watch shit burn.
Yes, and
that's pretty much
that's what this is. This guy's a political writer who got stuck at IO9 because the original Gizmodo website got burned out by Hulk Hogan, and he's writing about Star Trek now, and he's like watched maybe, I don't know, 2 years of it on some old VHSs that he got at
I love what the chat is saying here. Maker says Picard will be gulping nice white thick milk.
oh my God.
Not directly. Oh, what was that? Go on.
Oh, sorry. And Nyla Shadow says Picard is a coward hiding away, and when Starfleet asks him for help, he says no and dies in solitude.
Oh, and it's 10 episodes of him thinking about it, or what? I mean,
and Beyond News says and transitioning into a female.
Of course. Jean-Luc doesn't have to pass on the end of it. By the way, Luke quietly dissipates into the Force in The Last Jedi. That wasn't disappearing, it was dissipating into the Force. But in terms of having heroes who so wholly represent the greatest ideals of their respective franchise go through a trauma that leaves them challenged and conflicted, a conflict that leaves them grow and develop as deeper characters, while reminding us of the grand ideals they once represented. Hell yes, I say, especially because the new Star Trek show has another fascinating opportunity it can't waste. It's set 20 years after Nemesis, so $23.99. Fact, fans, he says, by the way. I don't know if that's actually a fact, which means that it's the farthest into the future of any main timeline the Star Trek show has ever gone. Our first chronological imagining of the Star Trek galaxy, previously only touched on by the novels and Star Trek Online. Is Star Trek Online considered canon, or is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's considered canon.
But it also means it's set about 20 years after the most cataclysmic events that we know of in the Star Trek timeline, the Dominion War, the one we never saw.
Yep.
The one we never saw. That's very serious. Look at that handsome devil.
Bum, bum.
What Picard and the rest of the TNG went through during the war is relatively unknown. Some of it non-canon, some non-canon Star Trek novels covered the Enterprise Z role in the war, and the closest we've got otherwise is the Insurrection and Nemesis movies. They are both set in the years just after the conflict, but also understandably had their own threats to deal with. We don't get the time to see how the characters are changed by the conflict that rocks Starfleet and the Federation to the core. That shakes the moral foundations that the captain like Picard not only holds dear, but in the eyes of many Trek fans, practically the living embodiment of them. So 20 years is a decent chunk of time after the end of the Dominion War for Jean-Luc to be removed from the initial chaos of the conflict if we're keeping our Last Jedi comparisons rolling. Luke only spent up to 6-ish years in exile after the Academy's destruction to reflect in his Federation that exists in 2399. It is still an idealist utopia it was before. Is it still the idealist utopia it was before? The bloodiest war in its history? And is he by himself? Can he live up to the ideal? Because really, unless the reason the new Picard is different, it's because he's completely different, man, altogether. What? Isn't that sort of a moral question, something that Jean-Luc Picard we know and love would want to go through and wake at the wake of the event shattering and full-scale interstellar war? This is a lot of assumptions here, Dennis.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. That's what I was saying. I skimmed through it as I was doing it, and there's just a lot of bullshit in it. I mean, a lot of bullshit. You need like hip waders that go up to your neck.
Oh, that's what I mean. Honestly, what was that?
You know what this sounds like to me in listening to you read this? Word count.
Yeah,
totally.
It is. It's totally
Absolutely.
It's like 3,000 words. God damn it, what can I say? Oh, let's prattle on about this. Okay.
La.
Yeah, shut up.
What else would piss them off? Let's see now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're almost done. It's not like Star Wars. Yeah, he's like, God, where can I get? Oh, can I talk about First Contact? Here we go. It's not like Star Trek hasn't put him through the moral ringer in the past, challenging ideas in the Federation holds dear. What the franchise does its best. Part of what makes Picard one of Star Trek's most adored characters is that no matter the situation, his moral core never wavers. And it's not like Trek hasn't used war to really bring the moral conflict to the fore before either. God, took a second to catch that. First Contact's most defiant moment comes when Jean-Luc Picard is on the edge of letting his urge to get vengeance on the Borg overwhelm him. Yeah, we already saw that. This far, no further. A new show has a chance to bring the moral debts to the forefront again and get Picard that so deeply shaken, perhaps that did falter a while, only to have to go through finding himself again. Whether it's through introspection, oh yeah, can we have a whole show of Picard introspection? That's what I need. Or seeing hope in a new generation of Starfleet heroes. I'm so afraid that's what it's going to be. After him. As Luke did with Rey, absolutely nothing. They could, I put that in there, by the way. They could do nothing more affirming of Trek's long-held ideals than seeing their greatest champion stray from the path. Be horrified by that. I am. And inevitably return to it. And wouldn't that be much more interesting journey to experience than Captain Picard doing the same old thing he was doing a decade ago with nothing changed but the impossibly rare wrinkling on Patrick Stewart's astonishingly timeless visage. Oh God, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. But yeah, we could probably skip the fresh Targ milk swinging. That might be a bit too much. There's a lot of filler in here. The guy, blah, blah, blah. He could have done that in a paragraph. I absolutely agree, but the guy actually believes that. So there's people out there who think it's an interesting story to deconstruct a character, but comparing it to Luke Skywalker, who was deconstructed and not reconstructed, deconstructed for no reason. Only and the only reason they deconstructed Luke was to make another character look better.
Yeah. Tear him down so that someone else could look better. Yeah.
Somebody else could look better. Yeah, this is what we're in for Star Trek. And I bet you we're going to get something like that, folks. That's why I read it. Because as ridiculous as it sounds, I think the guy's right. I think that's what we're going to get. I think we're going to get disillusioned, and he'll be like maybe like Doomcock said, doing the academy thing, and it'll be the kids in the future that teaches him he was wrong and he can be right again if he just thinks about happy thoughts and unicorns.
Come to me, children. Gather around. I'll tell you about wine.
Tell you a ditty about Jack and Diane. No,
Oh God!
Beyond News says also, guys, did you hear in season 2 of STD they're going to be bringing in Borg? You should be hearing about it soon.
No, you are kidding me. I got to do a separate video on that one. That's going to get a save. That thank you for the news, and if that is true, I will be doing a separate video. I will give you full credit for letting me know this travesty. So Mikey Spock will teach the Borg how to be better Borg. It should be whoops, I taught him how to be better Borg, and now they're going to destroy everybody. Oh my God.
What I put down in the comments of that article, or that blog post, I should say, is that I said I can't wait for in 20 years when they deconstruct Harry Potter.
Yep.
Oh, I can.
Oh, well, you saw the reaction when the Buffy reboot came through. When all the people who were getting, yep, it is. But when they announced the Buffy reboot, it was a reboot at the time.
Yep.
And so certain people who were telling people like me that we're man babies because we wanted why don't you just make a different character? That was always my argument. Why don't you just make a different character instead of relabeling a character? Relabeling a woman with an established label because you don't believe that woman could actually be a different character and you could develop it. You have no faith in them. They started acting the same way. No, don't recast Buffy. I want it to be Biff, the Vampire Slayer now.
Biff,
I want it to be a reboot. I want it to be an African-American man. And yeah, I think they should do that. They made it a sequel, which was smart. I think that was very smart. And it solved the problem. Like people stopped bitching immediately, right, Susan? It was done. Once they said sequel, argument over. That's all they need to do with Star Trek too. But bringing in the Borg, that's fucking horrendous.
Bringing in the Borg. Bringing in the Borg.
Oh.
Thank you, Agent Future. $5. There is another IO9 pretentious article that feature Iron Fist. Yes, I read that one too. The writer wants Danny Rand to be a passenger in season 2 of Iron Fist. And by the way, the guy who wrote that article about Danny Rand writes a comic book for Marvel. He does write Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken, currently.
Let me guess. He wants him to be a passenger, like as in second fiddle?
Yeah, because he says the way the season 1 Danny Rand played out, the only logical way of doing it is to make him be a passenger in season 2. That's the best way of doing it. And it's like, no, you actually develop the character now.
A passenger to who? Then who's the main?
He says so it can actually evolve into like a Daughters of the Dragon or Heroes for Hire show.
Pauline Wing should be the star of the Iron Fist?
That's what he's saying, that it should naturally evolve into something else. And it's like, no, it's called Iron Fist for a reason. You can have this spin-off into Daughters of the Dragon, which I want. I also want Heroes for Hire. I would honestly just want Heroes for Hire with Daughters of the Dragon in it, and forget a standalone Luke Cage and a standalone Iron Fist series. I don't think it's going to happen. But
the best part of Luke Cage was episode 10 when we got Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah, Heroes for Hire is what it was called.
Yeah, that's hopefully we get that in the future. I don't know if we. I don't think we will. I think that
we're
was
not going to get it. That's it. Yeah.
After 2019, the deal is over.
Yep.
So yeah, it was. I mean, like, listen, it was. I read that for fun. But the more I read, and now that I read it again, I'm like, oh man, the guy's right. Ah, god damn it. He's like, that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna fucking do. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, I like Silver Spike said. Silver Spike's not here, but I'm using her words, which was with Star Trek now, I'm expecting the worst and hoping for the best. I want it to be good. I do. By the way, Star Trek Discovery recap starting 2019.
Hashtag feel the burn. Feel the burning sensation. Man of Action says these comic book writers need to watch their ass putting their hands into movies and TV shows. They are 3 different companies and never the 3 shall meet.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? What comic does he or she write?
I believe it's Black Panther is what he's been writing.
Was it Ta-Nehisi Coates who wrote that? He doesn't write.
No. His name.
Oh, he's writing Captain America. It is I can't think of his name right now, but
hang on a second. I'll take a look. Keep talking amongst yourselves, and I'll look.
I'm gonna read. The person who wrote that article started watching with Star Trek 2009. This is Daniel Nolan. Yep.
Yeah.
Mako, only white milk. Maybe he can be milk Data and see if something comes out. He can milk Data.
Oh, the imagery. Thanks. Wow.
Mako. That was good. Mr. Vane waves at you, Susan.
I know. I waved back.
Wave back.
You did? There you go.
So it's Charles Pulliam Moore. This is the guy who was afraid of comic book stores. Remember we talked about him?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
What a
Oh,
jackass.
his name is John Pulliam Moore.
Charles,
His name is
yeah.
Jackass.
Charles.
That's what he's named. Afraid of his article about he had one bad experience in comic stores, so he recommended every comic store should stop. I mean, isn't that fair or not, millennials? I'm sorry. That is pretty much a nice representation of you. That's what a lot of people think. Change the narrative, please. Because I'm upset with something. We should change everything because I'm upset with it. I don't know. I get triggered when it comes to comic book stores. I was really pissed off about that article.
And yeah,
I guarantee you that guy on social media, he writes for, in quotation marks, a prestigious site. I guarantee you this guy on social media has 10 followers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, you're probably right. I thought Enterprise went to 2688, says Bad Bunny. I want to see this show, says Ed Brewer. Star Trek Online is good canon, at least until it catches up with STD. Then it's going to be ruined like everything else. How do we never see the Dominion War? It's what the whole damn DS9. I had a damn, by the way, Mako was about, right? Listen, Mako, when I walked out of Nemesis and Insurrection, I was like, Nemesis. It was Nemesis. I get them mixed up sometimes. Sorry. I was thinking that exact same thing. I'm like, I fucking thought we were going to see like a Dominion War at some point. They were building it. It was one of the best buildups ever. And now we're not going to see it, at least not through the next generation eyes. That's too bad. That's a missed opportunity right there. Maybe they didn't want to show Star Trek Federation at war.
Possibly. I think, that was the whole thing. They didn't want to show the Federation at war because, one, it was going to be too expensive and they were trying to cut back on budget. And 2, they already did that with the Borg stuff. And they were like, oh, we don't want to always be about war.
So do you think maybe they'll, I mean, this is a stretch, folks, but maybe they make it like post-Time War Doctor Who. Which works. I mean, like we never got to see the Time War, but like that's honestly in the narrative of Doctor Who that works best. You couldn't even imagine the Time War because it's a war between gods, basically. So yeah,
you couldn't even fathom it, man. Like not unless you did a lot of drugs.
I don't like to fathom war if I'm on drugs, man. Canon ends with Enterprise and Star Trek continues. Says Beyond News. 20 years after Nemesis. I'm not drinking. 20 years after Nemesis. We put it a few years before STO. Use the Force, number 1. Haven't thought about Dominion in years. Ego on Guardians kind of stole that concept.
Yeah, a little bit. Although Ego was first a long time before that Dominion. Long time, that's all I'm going to say.
Picard becomes a fascist leader of a United Union of Fascist Planet, says Nigel Brought Savage. That would be different. You see Picard all like, goose stepping out of his house. It's like, wow, he has changed.
Yeah, Nyla Shadow says the lack of war for the movie excuse is negated by the fact that they had ground and space combat in the movie. Why fight Sona when they could have fought Dominion? Yeah.
Right.
The thing was they were
about that.
They were trying to make episodes into movies, is what they were trying to do with the movies, with the next generation movies. Because, okay, let's just call it what it was. So Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, was a great movie because they took an old episode and they said, hey, what if, and they made a great freaking sequel to a great episode. And it worked. And they were like, holy shit, this worked really well.
And you know why it worked? It was small.
It was small.
A short movie. It was shot mostly on sets, a lot of reused stuff. It didn't cost as much as a motion picture, and it was way better because they were forced to be creative, and it was short, and they put some fucking action in it, and
it was well written,
and it was
exactly
very well written. Nicholas
and well directed.
Yeah,
yes.
Nicholas Meyer.
Yeah. And so what happened was with Star Trek 3, we go, okay, we need to bring our main character back. So it revolves all around that. Didn't go as well. Star Trek 4, you interjected the comedy. And Star Trek 5, they go, okay, we need to go back to the episode kind of thing again. And I think what happened once you got further along down the line, they got to the point and they're like, okay, what Star Trek movie did a really good amount of money? They go back to Star Trek 2 and they're like, hey, that was episodic. Let's take a good episode. We'll stretch it out into a movie and we'll make a movie because that worked in the past. And that's what they tried doing again with Star Trek Next Generation. Unfortunately, Next Generation's episodes, and I hate to say this, are written by Hollywood people instead of sci-fi people. And they had to stretch out a lot of padding into those things, and it got a little boring. That's all I'm going to say. That's the reason they weren't as well received.
But the movie, yeah, I mean, the movies were, they weren't terrible.
They weren't terrible, but they
were just, they were episodes. I mean, most of them were. I mean, First Contact was the most entertaining one. It was ridiculous in a lot of levels, but it was by far the most entertaining. And I can't remember now. I want to say the writer of, John Logan wrote Star Trek Nemesis. John Logan's a good fucking writer.
He is.
Okay.
But he is a Hollywood writer.
But he's definitely, but he did, Penny Dreadful too. So.
Right. Yeah.
I think he also did Soldier. Did he do Soldier? Gladiator. He did the screenplay for Gladiator.
Okay.
He had some.
He's also a script doctor too.
Yeah, and I still blame Star Trek Next Generation, the TV series, for dumbing down sci-fi shows. To tell you the truth, I had a.
Oh, you better be careful where you're going. There.
No. I'm gonna go. I had a friend of mine that we used to watch Star Trek Next Generation all the time, and he turned to me near the finale, and because we were watching the final episode, and he said, "Beware the tachyon field, dude." And of course, because that was everything in every Star Trek episode from like about season 3 on, was about the tachyon field.
It's all about tachyons. Yeah, I still enjoyed it. I don't care about that. As far as dumbing down stuff, I don't know. They probably had to repeat. They had to repeat a lot of stuff. Looking at some of the behind the scenes on DS9, they get over that. But DS9 is something that has actually gotten a lot better with age. A lot better. But
Avery Brooks was not your typical Star Trek captain. he was kind of dark.
Yeah, well,
he was kind of like
punched
the Babylon 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't, I don't want to say he wasn't benevolent, but most of the captains had the side where they could compromise a bit. Cisco was a little different. He had grudges, you know, he was a complex character, and that doesn't mean that Picard wasn't and Kirk wasn't. He was just very complex.
He was always trying to teach his kid baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooks did grow into that role, man of action.
Yeah, it got so much better as it went on. Oh, so much better. I hated it when it came out. I started liking it later. Penny Dreadful was good until they had those dolls talking, says Beyond News. Penny Dreadful, I liked it. It got weird at the end, but I really did like that show. It was a bizarre show. Like John Logan went very Quentin Tarantino on it and like had no editor, so he was able to write his ass off. And man, there was some like monologuing like you've never seen. But I'm also a fan of overacting, and Ava Green was so fucking good in it. She was so good. Yeah, I love that show, and it was cheesy, but yeah.
Susan Mako's asking, what do you think about Janeway?
I just answered her. You know, Kate Mulgrew, I always liked her since Mrs. Columbo. And I think she was a good choice for Voyager. You know, for a female captain. I thought she was a very good choice. She kind of reminded me of like, what if Katharine Hepburn were the captain? And I enjoyed her. I mean, you know, it's not my favorite incarnation of Star Trek. I'm TOS, but I could appreciate her, what she brought to the table.
Fun fact: an old roommate of mine was on Star Trek Deep Space, or not Deep Space. Excuse me, the Janeway one, Voyager.
He was on Voyager and Buffy.
Yes, and he played an away crew member in one of the episodes, and then he also played in the very last episode Janeway's grandson, if I'm not mistaken. He's in the picture back there behind her desk. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Aaron's, and he is. I got to see that.
He is. Yeah, he's in the picture behind. Yeah, he's That's also in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the first season. Remember the swim team episode?
He's like the only guy who's not. Dude. He's the hairy dude. Yeah, he's the hairy dude. Not in shape.
Yeah.
Fucking Aaron.
We always give him shit about it. So
yeah. Well, this is the guy who moved from California to Ohio, but he
no.
did it for the woman he loves. So we love you, Aaron.
Yep. Oh man, he was also Doogie Howser's hand model in
with hand what? No, sorry. I mean, you know, got to do what you got to do. But
he was young and needed the money.
He still needs the money.
He does.
Marvel killed Donald Glover's animated Deadpool series, not FX.
Yep.
So
Marvel did not want an R-rated animated series about Deadpool, and so they killed it.
I don't get that. I mean, Deadpool's, I don't know.
But it's on Fox. That was the whole thing. It was going to be on a Fox network. It was going to be Marvel branded.
Yeah.
And it was going to be R-rated, and it was going to be weekly. So they didn't want that, considering that Marvel does not have a TV presence. And we're going to be talking about that, not having a TV presence in a minute.
Yeah. Is there any chance of reviving Deadpool with Donald Glover or Marvel? No. I think that Marvel will revive it because they have the rights. They own the IP, and they have the right to do an animated adult series. They have the rights to do an animated adult series based on any of the X-Men characters and based on Deadpool specifically. They don't want to do a show that Donald and Steven Glover wrote. We would have done the show that Donald and Steven wrote, but it wasn't our decision. When Marvel decided not to do the show, we parted company with them, as did Donald and Steven. Now it's totally up to them. So yeah, so that whole bullshit about Marvel gonna go ahead and do a rated R Deadpool, I'm starting to think it's bullshit.
Yeah. Alien Renders, Shield is Marvel, but there was an interview.
Dong lover. Oh,
I don't even know what
God.
that's in reference to. I want
Don.
Don
Glover.
Glover.
Say Don Glover, and it's just mix. Just move
say it real
over
fast.
to the left a little more, and you get Don Glover. God.
So
12.
ABC's Channing Dungey. She is the head of the programming there. She was talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they asked her about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and are we going to get a season? Is this the last season for it? And she said, season 6, it's coming up. She says, it's my hope that by moving it to summer, where our live same day ratings are less important, and it might be able to continue for longer.
What the? What the? Oh my God! And
that's a direct quote.
What? Where? Oh my! What are you doing, lady? I mean, who says that? Especially, So okay, let me try to understand this. So they're going to put it on in the summer. No one's going to watch it, but it's going to last longer. I love that logic.
Because like the ratings don't matter and stuff.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, they don't matter in the summer. They're not as important.
They're not as important because money's not as important as in the summer.
Tell them to tell that to the advertisers. I can just imagine them trying to sell advertising. Well, like the ratings aren't important.
Annie Colton, you're right. At least she was honest. I mean, at least I'm honest.
Well, she's been trying to get rid of this albatross since season 4. And Disney won't let her cancel it. So she's moving it wherever the hell she can. Yeah, she just really wants to get rid of it. And Marvel won't let her because it's the only thing they have on TV at the moment, other than the Netflix stuff, which they're getting rid of anyway.
Yep.
So yeah,
it's weird what they're doing, man. I don't understand it. You own half the world now, and you can't get along. So, that's fine. But like I said,
yeah. Johnny Papa says, "What happens in summer stays in summer."
Dude, I'm telling you. I mean, aside from like a really horrible trailer for Titans and maybe not a great one for Aquaman, DC has a great opportunity right now to steal James Gunn. To maybe so maybe this James Gunn thing, I'm just going like all the way to the end of the tape, as we say. That's an old saying from recovery. It's like play the tape through. So I'm going to play the tape through on this one. Say the James Gunn thing like drives a wedge between Feige and Disney. Just and Feige leaves or gets offered CEO of Warner Brothers or something like that, which he could. I mean, he easily could. If he's not getting, I think he's on a pipeline to some really high position at Disney at some point. I mean, he's not going to want to run the MCU forever. I mean, this is a guy who's like climbed the ladder. He's done a pretty good job at it, I'd say. So, I mean, if Disney like makes one little mistake with that guy, somebody will swoop in and offer him the world, and he'll probably take it. Like, who knows what could happen? This is DC's time to shine. They better do it quick. Because the superhero thing, it's getting, it's been around a while, we'll just say. I don't know. Nothing is certain. And the end is always near, Feisty fan. Great James Morrison said that. Jim Morrison. James Morrison. James Morrison, his brother.
I want to be a programming executive because I will stitch that on a pillow about summer and ratings and just kind of have it in my office on the sofa.
And then when someone asks you that question, you just point it and go, "Did you read this, bitch?"
Yeah. Did you see this?
And make sure you attribute it to her, though. You need to have her.
Oh yeah, I do. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yep.
do.
Mako, did you hear the story? Yeah, we lost James Gunn, but we got Brie Larson. So Brie Larson marched all the women up to Kevin Feige's office. Brie Larson, who hasn't been in a frame of a Marvel movie yet, she got all the Marvel women to go up to his office and go, "We should totally make a women's superhero movie," which would be fine. I'm whatever. But the fact that like she did that, I just think it's like you know when you have the troublemaker at work. You know, like they're new and they've already started like little cliques and stuff like that. You know, like that's that Brie Larson's that little troublemaker at work. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we have those every now and then where I'm at, and it's like shit, we got one of those again. So yeah, I know what you mean. Alien Renders. So do you think there is an oversaturation of superhero movies? No. And yes.
Yeah. If the MCU wasn't around, don't think Hollywood would exist right now.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten so bad. It is so bad that if it's not Caitlyn Jenner's like wants to be in a Marvel movie. I mean, when that makes a headline, that tells you how long in the tooth something is. Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, whatever. Wants to be in a Marvel movie. It's like, listen, I want to be in a Marvel movie. You know, we all want to be in a Marvel movie. But it's just the headline itself. It's not even like when somebody's saying that, like, well, I want to be in a Marvel movie. Like that tells me the time's almost up. If you look at the history of trends and how they go and popularity with something, it's right at the end. That's a good analogy to you music fans out there, metal fans out there, are Metallica's Black Album. That was when they were at the fever pitch of their popularity. Wasn't my favorite album at all, but actually I hated it, but it was everybody else's, and that's when they got really popular. But then after that, you know, they still have been very steady and stuff, but they never reached the popularity. I mean, they ruled the world at that time for that short little time, and they had a long build up to it. But after that, it was so the MCU probably go through the same thing. It's like going to have this fever pitch with Avengers 4, and then it'll be around. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just not going to be as popular as it once was. That's how trends will go.
Yeah.
Ride the lightning, damn straight.
Sorry, I was looking at a couple things there. Beyond news, we talked about Gunn's script earlier on. I don't know if you came in a little bit late here, but yeah, we talked about they're going to use it.
They're going to use it. I mean, it'd be stupid for that because it wouldn't even. He has a very unique style that he was just coming into his own for his style. It's not like he's made a ton of movies like on the blockbuster form, and he definitely had a style that could cross over into other properties and work really, really well. I mean, I love it, but yeah, he ain't going to be doing it at Disney. But they should use a script. But who would direct it?
That's a good question. Maybe they bring back Edgar Wright.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, you know what he's going to be doing? I can't wait to see his next movie because it's going to be a documentary on the band Sparks. Random did a video on that. Please go watch it. I am fucking cannot wait. I love the band Sparks.
Has he didn't ever do another? Did he do another movie after he left Ant-Man?
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that one. I saw it and I forgot all about it. And that tells you a lot right there.
I haven't seen it. I love Edgar Wright though. I do. I love his editing. I absolutely fucking love it.
It was very stylish. It was very stylish.
Baby Driver was kind of polarizing. Either people really loved it or they really didn't love it. There was no middle ground.
I kind of was in the middle where I was just like, there's parts of it that were okay, and then I was just
feisty fan. Taika Waititi, I would agree. I think a lot of people would agree with that, but I keep on hearing that he's James Gunn's friend. But I think James Gunn, if James Gunn is the good guy everybody thinks he is, you know what he's telling all these actors? Shut the fuck up and go be in your movie.
Yeah.
Like, stop defending me, please.
You know,
you're gonna fuck your own career. Yeah.
He's been quiet on social media because I went and looked. July 19th was his last post on Twitter. He has been very quiet during this, unlike some other people. And, that says a lot right there. And you're probably right, Gary. He probably is telling everybody, let it go do the movie, stop, I'll be okay.
Yeah, I follow him on Facebook. The Facebook page that he has that he posts to all the time, and he's posted nothing since all of this happened. So, yeah.
With the Taika Waititi, I believe he's doing New Zealand Paranormal Witness right now, which is basically Jermaine Clements, and I forget the other person that's in it. I think Wellington. I'm sorry, Wellington Paranormal.
Oh, that's right, Wellington Paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate for people who watch this later, and Sparks. So I like an era of Sparks. Sparks has been a band for fucking forever, since 1974, but they're best known for late 70s, early 80s LA party new wave. Like,
Yeah.
but they're way big. I mean, that's not what they are as a band. They've been around forever. It's two brothers. One of them writes all the music, the other one sings. But they did the song "Cool Places," with Jane Weedland. That's probably their most famous one. But "Angst in My Pants" is like one of the best fucking albums ever. There's a great song called Mickey Mouse on it. It's like one of my favorite. It's great 80s party music. If you listen to like Sextown USA or anything off Angst in My Pants, you think of like that really bad 80s dancing and beer bongs and good times.
Peg stands. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Pegged pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never heard of them, Johnny Pappas? They're from LA. They were very popular on 91X. Yeah, and I know you've heard of 91X, Johnny Pappas, because that's a radio station down there. It used to be called the Rock of the 80s. And
that's right. Yes. 91X, yes.
91X.
God, I'm time traveling here. Wow. Sparks.
Yes. Sparks. Good stuff. Money talks, bullshit walks. Straight the fuck up, man of action.
Speaking of bullshit, the Oscars.
Oh, God, yes.
Have added a new category.
We could go for 4 hours tonight, folks, because I can go for an hour on this subject alone. Yeah. This is fucking hilarious. I saw John Nada. I saw Sparks at Magic Mountain. When did you see him? Was it the early 80s? Was it like 86? Sorry, I got to stop right there because like we might have been at the same show, man.
Bonding.
I saw Sparks and I saw Flock of Seagulls, and this was like after like the whole New Wave thing happened. So they were like, the crowd was half filled at Magic Mountain. It was kind of pathetic, but Flock of Seagulls like put on the best fucking show. They were so good. So sorry, Dennis, go on.
So going back to that. So the Oscars have added a new category.
It's called We were at the same show, John Nada. That's awesome. Sorry, go on. That's fucking rad. Go on.
The new category is called Outstanding Achievement in Popular Film category.
Back to Johnny Nada. No. So it's basically saying that all your unpopular movies that are winning awards. So here's the best picture for the movie that nobody saw, and here's the best picture for the movie that somebody saw. Fucking like way too late for that, right? I mean, it's stupid award. It's funny. It's funny. It's almost, this is something a comedy would have thought of. Right?
It is a Hollywood thing, and it is a comedy because it's Hollywood patting itself on the back and giving a consolation trophy.
Yeah.
Everybody's a
participation trophy. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, all the nerds are going to tune in now.
So this is this is all a result of really low ratings. It was the lowest rating they've ever had on an Oscars performance last year. Mm-hmm. So what they got together and said, okay, we're going to keep it at 3 hours.
Good luck.
They said, that's it. We're going to do it at 3 hours. They said parts of it are going to be filmed, but not shown live on TV. They're going to re-edit it and probably show it later during the broadcast. So that means some of your awards, most likely this outstanding achievement in popular film is not going to get a major, coverage on that. It's going to get an edited version of it. All in an effort to bring in more viewers is what they said. Yeah, the lowest ratings will be this year beyond news. It's going to be a shit show.
Well,
It
they're
really
also
is.
going to have backlash because the below the line people with the technical awards for years have been fighting back and pushing back about their awards and getting shortchanged and not getting their due. And for years, the producers of the shows tried to do this to no avail. But now I guess it's reaching critical mass where they have to take care of it. So, you
Too
know,
late.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then now it's going to be a behind the scenes drama because the editors and sound and all those type of people are going to be upset because they'll feel that they're being shortchanged. And yeah. So wow.
No, that's we could just rewind what you said earlier. If you just went up to the microphone and said, "I'd like to thank my mom and my agent Harvey Moneystein and my
God.
producer
Don't
and
forget
God,
God.
Jesus Christ and Cthulhu for making me," and yeah, awesome. I'm gonna go like do a bunch of coke with all these actors later.
No. I got something else.
Okay, there we go. Say yeah. No. And we got like, I just flew here on 5 private jets, and I would like to talk to you about the environment.
Oh my God, shut up with that. Oh God.
Yeah, fucking
How you
poor
say
old
the
Leo
last of an
finally wins
endangered
a fucking
species?
Academy Award, and what does he waste his speech on? I mean, what an asshole. Sorry.
Which
I
one was
like
this?
Leo, the first time he
Oh,
won. Yeah.
yeah.
Come on, guys. They are reaping the rewards of their act for the last 3 years. I honestly haven't watched it in fucking a
No.
decade, so I don't care.
See, if I ever won the Academy Award, I mean, this is, of course, I'm not going to win. I would go up and go, you know what? I just ate the last of an endangered species, and it was delicious. Thanks for the award. Bye.
Thanks for
Oh
the
my
award.
God.
And it suffered when it died. No,
Lord.
just kidding. Random and suffered.
In the booth, they'd be like, fade to black, cue music,
You'd
get him
see-
on.
Cut to commercial. Cut to commercial.
So if you want people to watch the Oscars again, live stream it on YouTube. I mean, for free. Like get us or somebody, or Feisty Fan or I don't know, Man of Action to host it, and Johnny Papas, who cares, and live stream it, and then like base it all on like a chat. That guy's Tom, and like Tom Cruise sucks. Something like that. And like have the chat vote on it. People might actually give a shit. Make it make it interactive and cheesy and fun. And people will watch. Otherwise, you're dead. Goodbye. It's dead.
Apparently,
really dead.
Rob Lowe was losing his mind over it on social media.
Yeah, he was.
It's dead. The Oscars are dead, and he was just rattling on. Rob
Well,
Lowe.
they are.
Yeah,
They are. And Rob Lowe, he can go back on the Orville, and he was pretty good in the Orville, actually.
he was good.
So the Oscars, it used to be called the Gay Super Bowl, and I remember I used to go Jay, who's been on the channel sometimes. I used to go to his family's house and watch it, and it was a good time. But we don't care anymore because it started out with we didn't watch anything that won, and then it got like they got really pretentious. And it was they used to be fun. They used to actually not be pretentious. They used to be fun and kind of cheesy, and have the solid gold dancers come out and stuff like that. But now it just got
Yeah, I mean, and there used to be parties of this stuff too. People would go, and I still remember in San Francisco back when there was a large artist community, which isn't there anymore. They would rent out one of the theaters and show it on the big screen and have like a huge party. And so you'd have food and drinks and all this stuff. And, it was a lot of fun. Now no one gives a shit, honestly. Because
the Tony Awards is like the gay March Madness. I'm going from what my gay say. I mean, the Super Bowl, I mean, it's like for the real sports fan, you're probably more into March Madness, but
Well,
I'm just going by what my gay said.
Back then, the Academy Awards meant something. I mean, it was actually awards given to movies that deserved it. Now it's about different things. It's not about the movie that deserved it. It's about another agenda.
Yep.
And that's why it's not fun anymore. You know, you can't joke about anything. The Golden Globes, yeah, that was a scene this year. Yeah, so it's like that we're never going to recapture those days. Those
No.
are long gone.
And the thing is, you're not giving awards out for merit anymore. You're giving them out on, oh, we missed this. We should have given this award to you, you know, in the past. But you're up for this award now, like Dame Judi Dench getting it for Shakespeare in Love as the Queen. She was only in it for what, 10 minutes?
Yep.
And she got the Oscar.
And we just got tired of seeing that, so we just stopped watching.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's super boring. Yeah, it's really, really boring. And yeah, and then there's so much more competition, and then young people aren't even watching regular TV anymore. I mean, it is a dinosaur. So yeah. Bye Oscars. It was nice knowing you. They'll be they'll be streaming for free pretty soon. I don't think they'll be on a network much longer, but
they can throw that, you know, was the Man Chinese Theater into the La Brea tar pits, and you know, it could be discovered a couple thousand years from now and dug up, you know, all preserved.
That'd be kind of all preserved.
Wow. Was that too dark?
No, actually, I think that was right. That was good.
Okay.
Ted Castill says, "Con!" Yes.
Us old folks don't have TV either, is what Ed Brewer says. Back in my day, we had 3 channels.
Not with the remote.
Yeah, exactly. And I was the remote because I was the youngest.
I know, yeah. And when you press the channel, it went because it would, it wasn't.
And then there's
and you can just go between channels and get the static.
Johnny Poppers, I was just going to bring that up. It's like I can't even remember. I turned on my TV last week sometime. That's the last time I turned on my TV. And my TV is exclusively for 4K viewing of like Blu-rays and stuff. Like I watch everything else on my computer. I don't watch anything on my TV. I don't even know why I bought the damn thing, to be honest with you. It doesn't get used.
The Oscar goes to Nerdrotics in the best tube category, is what Bad Bunny says.
Ah, nice. Thanks.
Thank you. I always wanted a paperweight.
Dude, I do everything on my PC, from porn to cooking recipes. What about cooking while watching porn, or just having sex while cooking? Or
never fry bacon while you're naked. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Move along.
I love watching Gary belt out on that one. Too many people do that.
There's like 5 jokes converging in my head, and none of them were good. So I was just like, nah.
Three Stooges syndrome. They all got jammed up at the door.
They did. I almost had an aneurysm. My eyes twitching a little bit.
Andy Colton says, I have kids. I have watched Teen Titans Go, Andy Mack, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, My Little Pony. Yeah, you got some quality programming there.
And you have a callus on your brain now because, it's built up. Which Teen Titans did you see, Annie, though? Because like the early Teen Titans is awesome. But Teen Titans Go, that'll make my head explode. My Little Pony, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I'd watch, but no, I'm right there with you. My kid's old. Thank God I don't have to watch those like Pixar-like movies anymore. I mean, I don't mind watching the Pixar movies, but all the knockoffs, like just like every single one I had to go see, like, oh my God, they were terrible. Like, I think the last good one I saw was the Box Trolls. I thought it would suck, and it actually was good, but everything else was trash. What was the Mars ran out of, or Earth, the babysitter? What Mars Needs Moms? Mars Needs Moms. That movie disturbed me. It was the animation from it and everything. Yeah.
Yes, Mako. Oh, we know about the bronies. We've heard about bronies.
Oh yeah, I've sold comics to bronies, Mako. Lots of them.
Yeah.
God damn, I sold a lot of My Little Pony comics. I
remember that. Yeah. Thank you, Feisty Fan. $4.99 if you could add a category to the Oscars, what would it be? Or takeaway question, or takeaway question for all three of you.
If I can add,
Or
best
take it away.
Either
one.
I would separate like best picture. I would do like kind of what the Golden Globes do. So you can give another chance, although it takes away a chance for a movie. But I'd like separate comedy or something like that. What would I take away? Best song, so we never had to ever fucking hear a song at the Oscars again.
By Celine Dion.
Oh, please.
Or Elton John.
Yes.
Well, if it was old Elton John, okay, fine. That's great. But if it's Elton John singing The Circle of Life, and I know there's people out there going to kill me. I love that song. No.
No,
just
stop.
no.
Do you want to build a snowman?
No.
Papa, can you hear me?
Okay. Oh, God.
I'm sorry. That still cracks me up to this day. It's great. You haven't seen it?
No.
Yeah.
Kubo and the Two Strings was good. Stormy Scott.
Yeah, Kubo and the Two Strings was
dark.
Awesome.
It was dark, but it was good. Really good.
Yeah. And very, very depressing. I mean,
yeah,
not depressing, like tear jerking, I should say.
It was depressing, but it was good. Depressing. Doesn't make it any less good.
Yeah. No, I own that on Blu-ray. That's awesome movie.
Yeah, Elton sold out and he lost his voice. I mean, his voice just lost range because he got older. I mean,
I did love
Phil Collins Tarzan. Oh,
I did love Elton John though in Kingsman 2. Fuck you, Poppy.
I really wish that the Academy Awards would give something to comedies, horror films. Yeah, I know Get Out won, best screenplay, but I really wish that they would recognize things other than dramas about, like Gary would say, feelings in hallways and, somebody's dying. I think there's room for all sorts of movies. And that doesn't necessarily mean the most popular, but I think there should be some category, I don't know what it would be called, where you could actually get like a movie like, and I know this is way back in the past, but like Where a Stripes could win, or something that was actually amusing, because the Academy seems to hate those type of movies.
Well, they hate sci-fi too. I mean,
Aliens.
Aliens honestly should have won that year. That was the best thing, and I forget what won. It was something that I can't remember what won that year.
Out of Africa.
Yes, there you go. Out of Africa. Does anyone know what that? Yeah, no one remembers that movie anymore.
No, it's supposed to be. Yeah, the best picture is supposed to be timeless. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a memorable. I mean, like, yeah, Star Wars didn't win. We can go down forever. It's stupid. It's worthless. The awards are crap. I've known that since I was a kid. Annie Hall. That's great. A lot of people back Annie Hall. Annie Hall should not have beat Star Wars ever. Okay, Chariots of Fire should not have beaten Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's fucking ridiculous. It's a joke. Yeah, I can. Dark Knight should have won Best Picture. It was the most money. It was the most critically acclaimed. I don't know what you need more than that. Fucking Spider-Man 2 should have won Best Picture. It made the most money, and it was the highest rate. It was the most critically acclaimed movie of that year. So yeah, whatever.
I'm sorry, Feisty. Did I get that song stuck in your head? She says, "Fuck you, Dennis."
Fuck you, Johnny. You went to St. John Bosco and Bellflower. Oh, because yeah, it wasn't 86. Oingo Boingo played Torrey Pine's graduation, I think, in 87 then. Yeah, I'm totally fucking jealous. That's awesome. Oingo Boingo played your high school graduation. That's fucking rad.
Damn. God
damn. I saw him at 1984 at the Del Mar Fair. That was insane. They could only play 8 songs. There was too many people there. It was it seated 5,000 and 12,000 people showed up.
Yeah, dude. Our senior ball, the theme was "Hold On to the Night," Richard Marx.
Oh my God.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. I still to this day am pissed about that. And the only thing that makes me feel better about it is they made fun of something similar to that in that Future Man with Corey Hart. That's all I'm going to say. But it just that's why I brought it up, because I from that. And I was like, God damn, man, really, Richard Marx? What the fuck were you thinking?
I didn't go to my school's anything. I went to a bunch of senior proms for other schools, but none of mine. I wasn't
I
allowed.
never went to anything.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't into it.
Oh no, I wasn't into school by 10th grade. After 10th grade, I wasn't in school. I was going to somebody. Yeah, like I had to like. Yeah, that's why I couldn't go back to mine. I was asked, but they wouldn't let me on the campus. Wisely so, I will say. Yeah, Out of Africa. My grandmother watched Out of Africa every other day for like 20 years.
Damn.
It says Bazopolis. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but it's just not like super memorable. That's whatever. Yeah, that's we don't need their validation. That was the thing, is like we were begging for their validation. It's like, oh, notice these genre movies and stuff. And guess what? Genre movies have like passed them up. Now they need our validation, and we should just give them the finger like they gave us. That's fine. Bye.
Guten Morgen, Master Cam.
Guten Morgen. That's fine. That is fucking fine. So yeah, but it's TV's where it's at. That's why we cover TV now. I mean, like Dennis and I were looking at the summer blockbuster release this summer, and it was really light. It's like smaller. It's lighter than it has been in the past. And really,
Jason Statham's bitching about the Meg.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to see it on Sunday.
What?
He wanted a lot more blood.
Yep.
Well, it was made for foreign markets, so they had to cut that down.
Yeah, so he said he wanted more blood and less funny, and I know that they said they made it funny and less gory because originally it was going to be a lot gorier. I can't remember the director. The director is actually well known, John Turtletop. There we go. The guy who did National Treasure, so he's the one who did this one.
I like National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure was good.
I think it's a good movie.
The second one's really bad, but the first
one's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, he said originally they wanted to make it really gory and have like body parts and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, nope, we're going to tone this down. We're going to make it funny as well because they need to sell it to the international market.
Yeah.
Yep.
Movie Finobi says there's a good money shot that Melissa will like. So.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is she Statham?
She likes the Statham. She likes your basics, she likes The Rock, she likes Statham. She likes Tom Welling. Yeah.
She's seen Tom Welling lately though?
No, well, she liked Tom Welling in Smallville.
Okay.
I don't know.
Tom,
yeah, I don't know what he looks like now.
Ooh,
she likes Joe what's his name?
Mangiello.
Yeah, she's big. She likes him from True Blood. Yeah. She likes those big strapping guys, and then she's married to me. So
Beyond News says, what is considered TV? Is it Netflix and Amazon? And of course, I don't include CBS All Access. Actually, it is all of that. It's Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, CBS All Access.
Well, what is considered TV? I think the question is CBS All Access is not considered TV, and neither is Netflix nor Amazon, according to the Saturn Awards. And some other awards. I can't remember if it's the Emmys or not, but they're considered streaming. So they are a different category. That's a good question. What is TV? I would still consider TV what Dennis was just talking about, networks. Just the basic, your old networks.
I know Steven Spielberg doesn't want Netflix anywhere near Academy Award consideration.
Yeah. They said because it's not being released in the theaters.
Yep. I don't necessarily agree with that, but who am I?
Do a lot of people on that. Yeah, it's
Tom Welling was the police officer in Lucifer, and he looks fat and old.
Yeah,
says Daniel Owen. Oh,
yeah, he really looks fat and old. It's it's really weird, man. It's like all of a sudden he aged like 40 years. It's kind of odd.
I wonder if that's why he's canceling con appearances.
Oh, maybe he's sick or something, or maybe he just parties. Maybe he's got a habit. Who knows?
Well, that's the place to go to if you have that.
Like I agree, unless you can't just keep a commitment. There's a point in your habit where you can't keep a commitment, and going places actually interferes. It's at a really dark place of your addiction.
Yeah.
Where it'd be good for you to go, but like to get some money, but nah, you can't even leave the house. Yeah, it's bad. Who actually votes for the Oscars? So who counts the vote is like an accountant firm.
Yeah, it's an accounting firm.
Waterhouse.
Mm-hmm. And who votes on it are the people of the SAG community. So the all the actors guilds, all that kind of stuff.
Certain, it's in certain like old winners and stuff like that.
It used to be the Academy that voted on it was extremely old and out of touch.
Yep.
So it used to be old Hollywood, because I remember when I was working for a producer in 1995, and his assistant that I was the assistant to, we actually voted for the 1995 Academy Awards. And it was awesome.
It was your fault.
Oh, shit. Come on now.
Well, Pulp Fiction didn't win that year, right?
No, it didn't.
Should have.
Nope. I think we voted for that too.
What won over Pulp Fiction?
Yep.
Forrest Gump. Oh, Braveheart. Braveheart won?
Yes.
Braveheart was okay. It wasn't better than Pulp Fiction, though.
No.
Wasn't as groundbreaking. Well, Pulp Fiction was groundbreaking. I mean, like, Pulp Fiction is, when you think of the 90s, it's like one of the first three things you bring up is Pulp Fiction. Like, it's part of the decade. So Braveheart's a good movie. Nothing against Braveheart except for the bad swordplay in the background. Watch the extras in the background. You'll know what I'm talking about. They like half of them don't know like that Mel said action.
Yeah.
Because they're turning around going, huh?
Yeah. You also see little things like watches in the background. I think there's a cell phone in there too.
Well, if you look real hard in any movie, you'll see power lines. It's hard to get rid of those.
Yeah.
I like Braveheart too, Ed Brewer. I did.
Philip A. Demick says the Oscars were created to buy off people who didn't join a union.
Yep. Google Tom Welling engaged to see pictures from a few months ago. Am I going to get porn, Pen Farm Girl? I'll do it.
I don't know. You might get some porn. Who knows?
Well, maybe he's looking good now. People could, hey, listen, I lost like 50 pounds in a month. So, I mean, people can do it.
Brian Smart says I fell asleep during Braveheart. Yeah.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Tom Welling, and I gotta say, he doesn't look that bad.
He looks okay. I mean, he's older. He's got a good head of hair. He's
a little fuller in the face. But that's okay. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. When you get to be a certain age, I kind of like lost it the other day because I was writing an article on Kurt Russell and I needed some pictures of Kurt. And of course, I stumbled on the tabloid pictures of Kurt walking along the beach, just minding his own business. And the headline was, Kurt Russell puts on 40 dangerous pounds. I'm like, Kurt Russell is fucking 71 years old. Let him alone. If he wants to put on 41 pounds, so be it. Let him be. As long as you're not, out of control. I just don't get that.
Maybe it's for a role. Who knows? I mean, he looked damn good in Guardians of the Galaxy, man. So.
Oh, as Ego? Yes.
No, yeah, he was great. Yeah, Tom Welling looks older. He definitely does. But he looks, all right. But the thing is, like, I'm older than him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And yeah. Johnny Papa said, I had an online pitch with Tom Welling's production company. They passed.
Oh my God. I am a lot older than him. Oh, okay. Yeah. He was born in 1977. He's 41. It's all in how you live. Maybe he, if he drinks, and not even a lot, if he drinking alcohol can do some serious damage to your body. It depends on what you drink.
It's hard when you're in your 40s. I mean, Brian Smart makes a good point. Tom Welling's a 41-year-old man now. He's not a kid.
Straight up.
Yep.
40s is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to exit them. So
In a year, you still have time.
I still have time. My birthday's next. My birthday's next Saturday.
Not
Wow.
everyone is the liver of Doomcock. I do.
I do. It's right behind me.
In a
Wait.
jar.
I miss
where'd it go?
I'm a patron of his, and I miss all the fucking fun like Discord shit because he does it while I'm at work. He needs to stop or do it Monday. Doomcock, if you're watching our videos, I'm gonna be 49. Yes, hopefully I'll be 50, Mako, next year, but I'm gonna be 49 next Saturday.
Man of action stopped counting.
Yeah, I'm pretty. At 49, it's like I told my wife I want nothing. It's like it doesn't matter. I love Patton Oswalt's philosophy on birthdays is like after you're 40. No, it was after you're 30, you just get to celebrate them once a decade. And then after the 90s or something like that, like, or no, if you past 100, if you get to 101, like each year a law doesn't apply to you anymore. So like you can murder somebody and get away with it or something like that. Yeah, I love that. Patton Oswalt's there's a Discord on Monday, says Penn Farm Girl. Okay, I'll be there. Hopefully our fucking Discord will be up by then too. Feisty, I'm gonna need your help because I don't think Lawrence is gonna finish that. So okay, yeah. I was born in 1969. I prefer 69 as well. I mean the year. It's a good year.
I will admit though, with aging, when I turned 50, I was like, wow, damn it. That was a moment, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's rough, but it's kind of eye-opening. But then after that, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit.
Yeah.
You do some looking back at life and going, shit.
Right. And then you look at people that are like maybe 60, okay, and you're like, wow, they're 60, and then it dawns on you, oh hell, that's not that far away.
Who was okay? I'm sorry for using this description, but like, who's the black guy in Lodge 49? What was his name again?
That's Brent Jennings, and he plays Ernie.
He is Ernie. I'm 59 years old. I'm like, I am only 10 years younger than that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hits you.
And I'm like, oh,
it used to be when somebody said, I'm 50, you're like, oh shit, that's old. Now you're like, I'm 60, you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, it's only 8 years older than me.
Sorry, there's all the chat went dark all of a sudden. It's okay. I'm very grateful to be alive. Very grateful to be alive. Yeah. No, it's been fun. I wouldn't change a thing.
40 there goes.
I do want 5,000 subs by my birthday. That would be awesome. That would be great. And this time next year, there will be a comic store, unless Smod comes down, which is the sweet meteor of death.
Are you going back to comic books?
Oh yeah.
You are?
Yeah, I'm done working for people. I said I would do 5 years in between, like when I sold my shop, I said I would do 5 years of regular Joe work before when and if I started up again. Decided last year I would start it up again, have a date and working towards it. It's actually coming up really fast. I need to do some stuff. 5K done. I wish it was that easy, Ed Brewer.
So speaking of comic books and darkness,
and
Zack Snyder finally confirmed. Remember that Joker suit that we saw in Batman vs Superman, the one that had the Joker's writing on it because of a Robin that died?
Yeah.
He finally confirmed that the Robin that actually died was Dick Grayson. Final dick move that he has to do before he leaves.
Oh, that's terrible. That was bad.
Yeah. So he actually said it was, and I honestly think that Zack Snyder was just there in the DC universe just to kill off side characters, things like that. Like he killed Jimmy Olsen on screen.
Great.
And yeah, so then he killed Dick Grayson Robin right off screen.
What did you say? We lost 2 subscribers since we started this podcast.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. It happens.
Oh. Damn.
So much for getting to 5,000 by next week. No, we've been doing pretty good. That actually, the funniest thing is we always lose one when we start a live stream, and then we gain like 2 or 3 by the end of it. So
God,
it
I
makes
feel
no
bad.
sense. I don't think we actually lose one. I think it's like the cookies and the algorithm and all that shit. Micro changes don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, JP, that's what I said too. I'm a what? When I saw that news, I was just like, come on, really, dude? You got to go there and actually kill off Dick Grayson? It's a dick move. Completely dick move.
It is a dick move, but you know, I was kind of hoping they would have rolled with like that whole, I don't know, that whole Joker story, but that wasn't Dick. So the Jason Todd,
Yeah,
with,
the Jason
being
Todd
Joker,
one.
I think that would have been interesting. But yeah, Dick Grayson, that sucks. I don't like that. But it doesn't matter. It's like not happening anymore anyway. So if I start a comic store, we'll be in the same city as my last store. It will be yes or around it. Close. Daniel. Depends.
Well, we're out of news pretty much.
Oh, dude, it's 11:40. Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, we should.
Holy crap, we gotta go. Yeah. That's even late for me. So thanks everybody. Here, like start thanking everybody in the chat, and I will get the video going for the
I will thank Man of Action, Ted Distel, Feisty Fan, Slurmy Scott, Bad Bunny, JP. I said Daniel Nolan. No, I did not. Daniel Nolan, Mary Ashmead, Mako, Beyond News, John Nada, Brian Smart, Slurmy Scott. Oh, who else? We have Johnny Pappas. There he is. The Bezopoulos. There we go. Pen Farm Girl. Who else do we have here that I'm missing as I'm scrolling up? I know we had Viking Bitch earlier. Lou Bella, Philip A. Demick. And you can also see who we have here in Gary's video that he's got going on. Also, Master Cam. And I know we have a few more people here, and I'm maybe not. Oh, there we go. Annie Colton.
Alien Renders. I'm glad you made it in time as well.
And Alien Renders. Yes. Alien Renders. I was just coming up to him as well. Rubicon Alpha.
Or her.
Him, her. Yes. Sorry.
I do it all the time. Yeah. You just got to be careful. It's like, because sometimes like I'm convinced that's a dude name. And it's not. Nope.
Oh, and I just want to say that one person who had the really long name that was pretty damn funny about Zorro, that one, whoever you are, that was actually pretty damn funny. Thank you.
Good. That was good.
And thank you all to all the other people that I didn't get a chance to say thank you to because I didn't see your name.
Yeah, you guys are the best chat on YouTube. You really are. It's lots of fun. Richard Frost, hello. It is great hanging with you all. I could do it for hours, but we will be back for more. Our next show will be, I think, I don't know. I'll probably be on somebody else's live stream tomorrow. I think maybe, if not, who knows? But Sunday we're going to do a patron thing in the morning, and then we have Preacher and Venture
Brothers. Yes.
Preacher and Venture Brothers, which I'm so excited about.
Yes.
And then Monday,
Sacre Blue, the deadly poke of Zorro. That's who it was. Just popped up. Thank you.
Nice. And then Monday we're doing the Nooner. Hopefully Farscape. We'll see if I can get finished watching some episodes and we can do Farscape. And then it's back to Castle Rock, which is doing very well. So welcome to the new Castle Rock subs. Excuse me. The show's getting interesting. So Sacre Bleu. That's awesome. So we can end it there. Thank you again. Your best chat, like I said, and go to nerdrotic.com for all of our schedules that I just yammered through. Susan, plug your wares.
You can read me at 1428 Elms. Starting Monday, I will also be at Heroic Hollywood. You can catch me on Twitter at Susan on the Ledge, at Instagram at Convergin, and on Facebook.
Nice. And Mary Ashby, it's not going to be 2, but 3. on Sunday. We're doing a Patreon as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then
we're
like probably I will probably and then mix in 2 Star Trek videos over the weekend, some news stuff that I want to talk about separately, especially if the Borg are truly coming back. I will be doing a video about that ASAP. So we have an Instagram that we aren't using, but we're going to start. It's at Nerdrotic. My Twitter's at Nerdrotics. Dennis is at The Force, nerdrotic.com, which I mentioned. Please tell a friend about subs. I would like to hit 5,000 by my birthday. I think that'd be fun. We're -2. Actually, we were up before we went down, so it's all good. But yeah, I mean, we usually don't beg for subs, but I'm kind of begging for subs right now. We also have a Patreon you can check out. You get stuff. It's patreon.com/nerdrotic. And thank you to all the super chats, which I got to get back to that. Oh my God. Give me just a second.
No problem. Take your time. Brian Smart says to Susan, try to watch your YouTube podcast from last week, but it won't play.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's been doing fine, so I don't know which one that you're looking at, so I'll take a look at it.
Brian Smart. Check your mail by Wednesday. I mean, you are like exactly the opposite end of the country from me, but something went out. 2 things went out today.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, David Hill, who was in here earlier, his is going to go out on Monday because he's in Australia. John Bellman, who was probably off doing some other stuff, his is on the way. Viking Bitch is gone. Hers is on the way. So yeah, I did a lot of mailing of stuff today. Super chats. I would like to thank super chats who were Dakota Stanton for $5, Johnny Pappas for $2, Slurmy Scott for $5, Dakota Stanton for $5, Feisty Fan for $4.99. Feisty, we love you. Happy belated birthday, Feisty Fan. I suck for not saying that earlier.
Wow, happy birthday, Feisty.
I'm going to totally dedicate the Monday Nooner to Feisty for her birthday. And Feisty again, $4.99, the birthday girl who should not be giving us stuff because it's her birthday. Agent Future, $5. Thank you, Agent Future. And the wonderful and talented Viking Bitch, who has a YouTube channel, by the way. I've just made aware of this. Viking Bitch, go subscribe. She shows her art. She's amazing. She's amazing. And also check out Susan Layton. All of her stuff, when this turns into a video, will be linked in the description. She is a woman of many talents who's doing many things, and you should check them all out. Yeah. Maybe it's Hobbit's maybe it's Hobbit's birthday where the birthday persons give presents. Okay. Oh, like a Hobbit's birthday. Yes. That's it. Mako, you're smart.
Mary Ashby asked if her package got mailed.
Yes. Yours went out today.
There we go.
So check your I gave you a tracking number, Mary, so you can check that out. Yeah, it hit today. And you got your $5 level, but you got some goodies in there. You'll be very happy. Jody, who wasn't in here, got a little something coming to him too.
Little something, something.
Little something, something. So our patrons, if you sign up for our Patreon, since I'm yammering on, if you're a $15 level, you get a what's in the box, and you get, it's kind of like Loot Crate, except you get cool shit. So you get like action figures I used to play with or something off this wall. So it's like some old vintage action figures. They're all going to be loose. And maybe I'll throw in one in package. Yeah, probably not. But you also get 3 comic books who are exclusive to my comic book store. And then I throw in some extra comics and some little tchotchkes and stuff. It's like each box is worth almost $100. And you get it for, donating. You have to join us and then be with us for like 3 months before I send you a box. I won't just send you a box right away. If you stay with us for 6 months, you get a second box. But I mean, after that, that's all you get. And you could jump out after that if you want. That's fine. Or go to a $5 level. The $5 level, you just get the 3 comic books that were exclusive to my store. And then you can jump on for just as little as $1 a month, which is fine. Which is
not
totally
dolls,
cool.
Bad Bunny, action figures.
You can call them dolls. I'm fine with that. I am comfortable in my I'm also old and don't give a shit. I would have fought you in my 20s, but it's an action figure, not a doll, man. But yeah. So great job tonight, guys. Great job chat. I'm pointing at the chat. You chat. You were awesome tonight. So we'll see you soon. Dennis, take us out.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Say goodnight, Susan.
Good night, Susan.
You know, I've always wanted to hear, I wanted to say this in our Ancient Aliens, but I've always wanted to hear like ancient alien theorists say, fuck no.